Go Figure TV. Revolutionary salute. Revolutionary salute. Like, share, subscribe. Welcome to the House of Revolution. You know I'm your humble host, the Yao Ming of Revolution. And this is the fall of hope. The God MC himself. Before we get into this, be sure to wipe your feet. That means hit the like button. Like, share, subscribe, support the platform, y'all. Well, it's so much going on around the world that I decided, we're going to get back to World War III. We're all right. I believe we're going to live to see tomorrow. So let's get into Hov. I promised y'all last night we were going to get into this. The fall of the Boule. The big Greek freak himself, Jay-Z. Now, salute. Now, all of y'all got the right not to believe these allegations. I know some of y'all in here going to say, oh, man, Cup, they after a black man. I'm not going to wrestle with y'all in here because y'all know I don't believe it. But what I want to remind y'all is when Puffy got arrested, I told y'all, Shalom family, salute, this was going to happen. Why? I told y'all Puffy was bigger than all the rest of them cats. They all wanted to be Puffy. I told y'all put Jay-Z and Beyonce is on the tapes. And I told y'all why they was going to be on them tapes. Because Jay-Z wanted to be Puffy like everybody else. After Pac died, Big died, Sugar locked up. Puffy was the man. He looked like he won. The whole world was his. And all them people wanted to party with Puff. Do anything Puff was doing. Puff had knowledge of how to entrap people back then. Puff knew about blackmail tactics. Puffy hooked Jay-Z ass up to the bumper. And this is absolutely going to be the end of Jay-Z. Now, remember this. P. Diddy didn't want to pay that lawsuit. We wouldn't be here if Puffy had paid Cassie to begin with. We wouldn't be here. He refused, then all hell broke loose. Them people went to Jay-Z and say, pay for what you did. He refused, all hell breaking loose. Salute, y'all. Let's get into it.
Legendary rapper Jay-Z is denying an allegation that he and Sean Diddy Combs raped a 13-year-old girl.
Yeah, an anonymous accuser identified only as Jane Doe made the accusation in a civil lawsuit on Sunday. It alleges that the assault happened after she was driven to an MTV Video Music Awards after.
Oh, and another thing, I know a lot of people, when they see these people with all this money, you think, man, why would somebody like Jay-Z, Puffy, LeBron, them, Jamie Foxx, Will, why would they have to date rape? Why would they have to take something? They can get any woman they want. Well, you don't know how this power shit go. It's not about getting people you want. It's about controlling, dominating, forcing people to take stuff. You better realize the type of disgusting bastards that's in power. And another thing, we all wonder, how did these niggas get to be billionaires? It wasn't from selling no damn records, man. That's a scam. Drake is giving that game up. That's money laundering. They niggas did not become billionaires because they sold some records. Fuck no. Now we're looking at the hanky-panky that was involved. The elite say, okay, we got us two right here. They're willing to do anything, even take something from a child. We can work with these guys. Come on, man. But what these guys never understood, you never going to be like them. And you'll never be in a club. And this is a prime example. Now, we finna get into this, but I want all of the future billionaires to see what not to do. Don't shame yourself. Don't pervert yourself. Don't pimp yourself. That's food gold. That's monopoly money, nigga.
Afterparty back in 2000. In a statement to NBC News, Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, called the accusation idiotic, adding, quote, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever should commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree?" Attorneys representing
the mentals. And I heard some people saying, so long ago, all that, man, in 2000? Oh, yeah, Ask didn't say that about Bill Cosby when they went back 40 years. I don't want to hear people talking about how long ago. Niggas like Jay-Z laughed at Bill Cosby. He laughed at R. Kelly. You see? This nigga thought he was so much better than us and above us. We were peasants to him. Oh, cool. Remember that.
And Combs also dismissed the lawsuit, calling it a shameless publicity stunt. Combs is currently behind bars at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after federal prosecutors charged him in September with racketeering and sex trafficking.
NBC News legal analyst Danny Ceballos is here to break down some of this for us. Danny, good to have you with us. These are serious allegations. Tell us a little more about what accusations the accuser is making here that happened back in 2000, and just typically how a case like this then would play out in a civil court proceeding.
According to the amended complaint, and when I file amended complaints, it's because new information has come up. Maybe there are new defendants and new claims, and that's sort of what's happening here. But
all of this shit
I'll
start off
explain
with a civil complaint. That's how Bill Cosby started off. That's how Harvey Weinstein. That's how P. Diddy. Everything was a civil complaint.
difference.
Then it's criminal.
This amended complaint alleges that this 13-year-old plaintiff, when she was 13, wanted to go to the VMA Awards, couldn't get in. A limo driver says, "Come on in, and I'm paraphrasing, you look like you're Diddy's type," or something like that. She gets in, she goes to the party, and at the party, she is assaulted. Originally, she had alleged, obviously, Diddy or Combs. Now, there isn't really a new defendant in Jay-Z. What the complaint alleges is that somebody that they had originally referred to as, say, Celebrity A, now they're naming as Jay-Z. And so...
Now, and we're going to watch the video. It's a reason why, because some people are saying, oh, it's real suspicious. She never named Jay-Z at first. This is Tony Busby tell you what happened. We're going to see one of the videos. Tony Busby tell you. They went to Jay-Z lawyer and said, hey, we need to sit down and talk about this. You, Diddy, and that 13-year-old, and J-Lo. You need to come talk about this. Hove flexed on them. Hove got cocky, got arrogant, got an attitude, and then got his private investigators to start following Tony Busby and going after people who used to work for him and shit like that. So the defendant, the woman, she's a woman now, but the lady who was the 13-year-old, she said, name this nigga. Since he won't play these games, name him. That's what Jay-Z ass is in the news all over for. Because he didn't want to pay, now his ass got to play.
They allege that Jay-Z and Combs were involved in the assault of this 13-year-old plaintiff. So Jay-Z was technically already in the complaint. He just wasn't identified.
Walk us through that point that was in Jay-Z's statement there about changing the type of lawsuit here, civil versus criminal.
See,
so Jay-Z essentially is saying...
all the rest of those celebrities gonna pay. They don't want LeBron. I bet LeBron pay because he all of them people. Everybody y'all ever thought, hell yeah, they in part of that shit. Y'all wasn't stupid. Y'all knew what was going on. You was right. You was right. Now all the rest of them niggas, they're gonna pay because they don't want to get drugged like this dude right here. And what Beyonce gonna have to do, she gonna have to do what Bill Gates' wife did: divorce him. Once it was found out he was in them Epstein tapes, they got divorced to save their fortune. So everybody couldn't come get it. Mark my word, Beyonce finna divorce this nigga because she got to save the fortune.
Saying, hey, if you're going to bring this case, this sounds like a criminal complaint. I dare you basically to go file a criminal complaint. And what's interesting too is that according to the complaint, the plaintiffs explained the reason that they decided to name Jay-Z was allegedly Jay-Z had pushed back on the filing of this complaint. So it's almost like a kind of, hey, if you're going to push us, we're going to name you in this complaint instead of just saying that you're Celebrity A. That's a little bit problematic because if he wasn't a party originally, if he was just Celebrity A, and now the only difference is because Jay-Z pushed back, it raises a question as to what exactly Jay-Z
pushed back. Hold on. This is breaking up. It's not that he pushed back. It's that he got private investigators to start harassing and threatening the man. So that the girl, she's a woman now, said, name that nigga. And remember, Tony Busby said, this man, Tony Busby can lose his license and everything if this shit is not true. You can't do what he's doing unless you have some type of evidence. He's already told these clowns that. He's already warned these dudes. He had the evidence.
Today. Well, baby, if your name is Jay-Z, you have just issued a response to the lawsuit that was just.
Hold on, let's back up because I want y'all to get y'all mind frame. See, a lot of y'all are thinking, when y'all think about Jay-Z, y'all thinking about Jay right now, man. Don't think of Jay. Go back to 2000 when he just wanted to be Puff. No, I told you, man. This nigga wanted to be Puff. And they ain't wanted to, you know what? He wanted to be big, and they ain't wanted to be Puff. No, I told you, Puff was winning. And so you better believe this nigga didn't have mansions and all that shit yet. Puff had all that shit. I told y'all. Jay-Z partying with Puff. Just think about you and your partners. And y'all got something going on there. There's some women come over there. You're like, man, go use that room. You can use that room back there, player. Come on. Like, all right, my nigga, I appreciate that. You take your little lady friend into the room your partner told you can room. That'll happen. And you been through that? But now imagine Puffy videotaping and telling niggas, go ahead, use my room up there. Y'all go ahead. Y'all enjoy yourself. Everything on tape, nigga.
2, the lawsuit that was just filed naming you as the unnamed A-list celebrity that raped a 13-year-old while Diddy and an unnamed female celebrity. What?
It's J-Lo.
Again,
She's cooperating with the feds.
Jay-Z and Beyonce ain't get together.
J-Lo is cooperating with the feds and people. That's why they still haven't named her yet. Remember, the news, they already went back. As soon as this lawsuit got filed, they went back and found the pictures of Jay. They got the pictures of her and him. He was with J-Lo all that night. It's J-Lo. And remember, they said the celebrity who was in the room with Diddy is bigger than Diddy. Naturally, right now, Jay-Z is bigger than Diddy. Because him and Beyonce, Jay-Z is way bigger and got more money than Diddy. It was
2001. Jay-Z. This happened at the 2000 BMAs. J-Lo, we got a bunch of pictures of you dancing on the couch. I really want to know what's going on. Y'all, let's get into this. If you guys don't know, a lawsuit dropped. A lawsuit dropped where a 13-year-old said that she was hand-selected by Diddy's driver to come to a freak-off that was happening during the BMA's after party. Diddy was throwing the official BMA after party where everybody was at. And the girl was invited to the freak off, which was happening during the BMA. If you guys don't know, lots of news organizations said they timed they had the timing of the freak offs to coincide with big celebrity events like boxing, like this, like that. Okay, y'all got it. Anyway, the details are horrible. She said that Jay-Z first did it, held her down while, who is it? Diddy and the woman watch, and then Diddy tried.
Jay-Z following Puff. Puff looking like the winner. He having it all, and he got J-Lo on his arm. Puff looking like the man. Jigga wanted to be Puff and to do anything to get them millions. Puff telling him, nigga, I done been in a room. This how you gonna get to the 100 million, bro. You got to do this. Devour. Take what you want. We gonna be gods, man. They on them drugs. And Jay-Z did it, nigga.
To take his turn while Jay-Z and the woman watched. But then she hit Diddy in the neck and she ran with all her clothes. And her dad, she called her dad from a gas station. She walked like literally just, it's so horrible. And yes, she was given a Diddy special, which was some type of lace cocktail. Again, this is a civil lawsuit filed by Tony Busby. It's also come out that Jay-Z, Tony Busby, and a celebrity anonymously filed to accusing Tony Busby of extortion. Okay. Tony Busby hit back and said, I ain't afraid of you. I ain't afraid of you.
LeBron next. Remember they said it was an NBA star who stopped Diddy from sexually assaulting a dude. LeBron, it's coming. You can't hold this back no more. And if they think the small hats and them people gonna protect them, fuck no. They finna humiliate all of these niggas and put them all back in their place because they've been getting too cocky lately. You see? They do all this disgusting shit and then get billions and then talk about racism and white supremacy and suing these people. And they knowing what they've been doing? Man, please, them people not playing no games with these boys, man. They know what time
Come on, let's go. Let's go. I'm a Marine. You think you intimidate me? You don't, right? Now, here's what I honestly don't know. I don't understand why Jay-Z didn't settle, because this gives fuel to all the fire of the rumors, some substantiated, some cuckoo land that everybody's been saying about you. Again, some people said the reason why he didn't settle is because he knew if he settled for this, Tony Busby might got 100 other. Now, again, anyway.
I'm gonna bring this back up and then I'm gonna let it go. I made a video about that. Jay-Z thought that Jay Prince forgot that you stuck your nose in the Houston business and took Meg Thee Stallion from that boy from Fifth Ward? Remember Jay Prince stepped in and Jay-Z, you laughed, you joked, you still got the big contract. You thought you won, didn't you, Jay-Z? You thought you had got over on old Jay Prince, didn't you, Jay-Z? Puffy, you thought you won after you slapped Drake and humiliated. Because see, you humiliated Jay Prince because that made Jay look like he couldn't protect Drake. That's when Jay Prince put out the courtesy call. It said bad news to beat you home, threatened P. Diddy. Where am I going with this? Never forget the woman said the woman who sued Puffy and his bodyguard said they raped her. She threatened the bodyguard with Jay Prince. The bodyguard showed the text message. She said she was with Jay Prince. And then Tony Busby came for their neck.
Right. But Jay-Z said, you are wrong about this. Because he issued a statement, and all I gotta say is
it's big boy shit going on that's way over our head. Way over our head. These boys playing daily games with one another, man. And I absolutely believe Jay Prince got these boys in a checkmate right now.
Counsel looks like. Now, I'm gonna read what Jay-Z said. Let me know if you're buying it. I will say this. You can tell a competent lawyer wrote this. You can tell Alex Spiro clocked in. You can tell me that Diddy is probably wishing and hoping and praying that Alex Spiro will come represent him. But Alex Spiro doesn't believe in representing cases that are DOA. Baby, not even God himself can save you, Diddy. Not even God himself. Anyway, let's get into this. Jay-Z said, yeah, it's another one. Okay, sorry, that's my Jay-Z impression. He said, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer, they put that in quotation marks, named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny will make me want to settle. Now, already, it's a strong opening by saying that you use the term lawyer loosely for Tony Busby. A little legal snobbery, okay. But already I'm wondering the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny. Did you do it? Let's see if he says, I didn't do it. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. Okay, I'm still waiting for him to say he didn't do it. Let's keep going. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one.
See, they're going to have to give them LeBron to say themselves. See, LeBron is a bigger fish than both these niggas because his NBA rings and his value to the NBA, they're projecting 20, 30 billion out of him, 100 billion out of him. You know, that is the creme de la crop to have LeBron in a position. I know LeBron was young and naive. He partied with Diddy and done some disgusting shit. He can't get away from that. That's a fact. All these celebrities did. Diddy was the biggest fish. All these NBA players, all these rappers, Lil Baby, all them niggas is on these goddamn tapes. And Jay-Z now, all that paperwork, you got to think about what you going to do. Diddy done made his move, nigga. He gave him you. Now what you going to do?
Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away.
Salute.
Would you not agree? Did you do it or not? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. Now, let me just say this. This is really well written, and I see how people are going to rally around Jay-Z, but and this is just from a side, right?
That's not going to work.
Whether or not they choose to file criminal cases or civil, that's really on the victim's saying. Like, who are you to say that if you were a real victim, you file a criminal case? But I do like the way he is separate.
It's easier to prove these civil cases than it is criminal. Why you think they've always went civil first on Bill Cosby, Jeffrey Epstein, Harvey Weinstein? They go civil first. And once your ass get, that's why them niggas never wanted to pay the civil, Puffy them, because they knew once you get civil, they got you. Niggas, you just admitted to it. So it was you're damned if you do, damned if you don't for Hove. You pay that money, your ass is grass. You don't pay, your ass is grass. You understand? Your ass is grass, boy. You should have never played footsies with the devil.
Separating himself from Diddy. This lawyer, who I've done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. Did you do it or not? Because I see you saying he's a piece of ish, he's not this, he's not that. These things are so heinous. Why don't you file a criminal complaint? But did you do it? I have no idea how you come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby. But I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down.
And Blue Ivy is 13 years old right fucking now. This nigga Jay-Z is disgusting.
Is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and the human spirit. Okay, yeah, this is really emotional and I get it. But you're literally talking about your child in a statement to remind people you're a father. Did you do this or not? Where's the denial? My heart and support goes out. Okay. My heart and support goes out to the true victims in the world. We have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by the ambush chasers in a cheap suit. Did you do this or not? Because even this, my heart goes out to the true victims because we have to watch your life story dressed in costume for profitability. But is it a true story or not? You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. Ooh, I think that was a shot at Diddy saying we ain't the same. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects of Brooklyn. This is a very good, well-written statement, but young? Really? Jay-Z? I mean, you're a man and you're not old, but young? Okay, fine. I'm a young man who made it out the projects of Brooklyn. We don't play these type of games. We have a very strict codes and honor. Oh, okay, now he's denying. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists.
Listen. Boy Life, I just put you in timeout for 30 minutes. I just want your dumb ass to sit there. I'm not gonna block you from my channel. Listen, any of y'all want to come in here and protect date rape and all that shit, I'm just gonna put you in timeout. Before I start, I said y'all got the right to disagree, not believe the allegations. Don't not type in my comment section vouching for this type of behavior. That's serious business. I don't see none of you niggas vouching for it in real life, nigga. I put my hands and my feet on you. Serious business, nigga. Y'all niggas disgusting. This is one platform where, yes, I want perverts to be locked up. I'm not one of them niggas who say, I don't wish prison. I don't wish prison on my worst enemy. I wish prison on disgusting punks who date rape. If I ain't gonna bump them off, they gotta go somewhere. If the righteous revolutionaries ain't gonna down them, they gotta go to prison. So I'm not one of them. You're in the wrong place, nigga. You see what I'm saying? We all knew the Boule been doing some disgusting shit. Now that's happening. Nobody can believe it. I believe it, nigga. I believe it. Me, personally. And I swear to God, I wish I could meet niggas who is vouching for this type of shit. So I can give y'all some correcting. Hoe ass niggas.
Fake
beat you
physics
sleep, bro. Y'all
will believe the idiotic claims that you have leveled against me.
Fucking date rapers,
if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, it would be laughable. So I guess Jay-Z, he didn't give an outright denial at all. He just said he protects children. But I will say this, right? This case was filed against Diddy, and they named Jay-Z as the unnamed celebrity. We're going to have to see in court who's telling the truth and who's not lying. I will say this was a very strongly worded pushback. Okay. Now, again, you know me.
White man.
I wanted to hear him say, have you lost your
white
mind?
man going after black people. I don't want to hear that shit from you fucking coons, bro. I want to hear Shoeshiners talking about the white man is after them. What's wrong? I know what you bitch ass niggas is doing in the community, day raping these girls. I come from the block. I know about you niggas having money, so going around these high schools, nigga. I bet you be niggas getting out of graduating, they going by these junior highs, nigga. This conversation needs to be had, nigga. And I want all of you to see, don't idolize these phonies. They perverts, and that's monopoly money they threw their life away. Nigga, that shit ain't nothing but toilet paper, nigga. They done all of that. Look at Puffy. Threw his life away for that monopoly money. It can't help him. He can't buy his way out, nigga. Now, y'all just gotta prepare yourselves. Some of y'all, greatest actors, best singers, greatest athletes, they Boule ass going down. And at Crawford TV, we here for it.
I would never. I did not. Oh, you're disgusting. Instead, they made a lot of ad hominem attacks, but he did say at the end, we protect children. And then he said that like his only thing is he has to sit his daughter down and talk about this at the dinner table. But didn't you send Blue Ivy down and talk to her about this when you had that Pierce Morgan interview pulled down? Listen, all jokes aside, because this is very serious stuff. Now I'm really confused. Who do you believe? There is a lawsuit filed civilly. There is a 13-year-old victim that swears it's them. And Jay-Z has given a very strongly worded denial. However, Busby says he's not backing down, and we are going to see what pans out in court. Baby, Jay-Z said he's not the one nor the two. And Busby saying, I'm not the three or the four. We really have two people.
Salute, Queen.
Both with big egos, and they hashing it out. You guys, listen, what do y'all think in the comments? I'm going to go live to talk about this later. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Hey, this is another thing we all need to see. These niggas scared of white men. Jay-Z, why you ain't put no bag on him? Why you ain't put no bag on him? See, a black man, that'll knock your motherfucking ass off if that was a black man doing this. Oh, nigga, they here to show up at your house, kill your fucking grandma. But the white man, strongly worded letter. Oh, man, I thought you was the boss, Jigger. You see how they act when whitey come for them? Had it been a black man, oh, nigga, they sending the Bloods and Crips, the GDs, the Haitians to come look for you. But when it's whitey, a strongly written message. Oh, nigga, I knew you was out.
Breaking news, Jay-Z has just been revealed as one of the unnamed celebrities in those Diddy lawsuits, claiming some horrific things so bad that Jay-Z has had to respond immediately. We have his comments right here. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor. You're going to be hearing about this all week, guys. This is massive. I wanted to get something out quick.
Revolutionary salute to RT Bell for the donation to the war chest. Revolution is a way of life. Absolutely appreciate the love. Family salute to you.
As I was learning about it, we're going to get into much more detail throughout the week. But we have Jay-Z's response along with the allegations. Jay-Z is now being accused in a civil lawsuit of R-ing a 13-year-old person back in 2000 along with Diddy. Now, again, allegations. These are allegations. He is being accused of doing this by an anonymous accuser in Jane Doe who said this happened back in 2000 at a VMA after party. It was originally filed back in October, a couple months ago in New York, but now it has been refiled tonight with Sean Carter as the celebrity involved. Tony Busby, who filed it, did not comment. Now, if you've been following the channel, and you should be, hit that subscribe if you haven't, Tony Busby has been threatening to release these names. A celebrity was then threatening to sue Tony Busby, saying this is all blackmail. It now sure looks like that person was Jay-Z, because Jay-Z has responded and he's coming out swinging. Let's look at what he said, and I'll come back and we'll see all the thoughts here that we got on this new massively big update. Here's Jay-Z's comments. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny.
Revolutionary salute to our family, Django ATX for the donation to the war chest. Revolutionary way of life. He say, Damo, keep going. You already know I am family. Salute to you. I appreciate the love. I'm not going to stop. They know what they got to do to stop me, nigga. Give me a gunfight, nigga. Fuck words and all that shit. Fuck all that, nigga. Meet me at high noon, nigga. Give me some action.
Scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud that you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal
complaint. We've been praying for this, bro. Our grandmothers, they've been praying for this type of shit. They don't understand when the Most High move on the Boule, then everybody shocked and want to blame Whitey. What? The Most High not white? What's wrong with you? This is great news. Things finna get better. Maybe the next crop of millionaires and billionaires won't go this way. Maybe they will remember, help your people out. Do right by your people. I never forget, Bill Gates became the largest property owner in America. That man spent $280 million in the farm states. I never forget that, $280 million. Now, I was talking to some of my people, like, 280 million. Now he have more than, he's the biggest property owner because he made a 280 million purchase, all that farmland. That's when I knew these black athletes and shit was a joke. Always talking about Whitey, LeBron, Dr. Dre, Jay-Z, Puffy. No, they could have got together and black people could have had the most farmland in America for 280. They got it. But they're not able to do shit like that. They're not able to do shit like that with that monopoly money. They can't make real power moves on our behalf. The hell with them house niggas. They want to buy $99 million houses. Cool. Flaunt your wealth, nigga. Because the time will come when you can't buy your way out of what you in. And that is they in that situation. They can't buy their way out of this. The enemy don't give a damn about money. They got it all.
Not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime on against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? Pausing, it's not really up to Tony Buzbee to say, it's up for the federal government, and we'll see if they do take charges against Jay-Z. But a little bit of a deflection here right out the gate. These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. The lawyer who I have done a bit of research on seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Buzbee, but I promise you, I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. You claim to be a Marine. Marines are known for their valor. You have neither honor nor dignity. Ouch, he's really going for it. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty.
I'm putting you in time, my king boss. Stop playing in my motherfucking comment section, boy, before you get a piece of delivery. If you want somebody to come to where you at, bitch, put your address in there, nigga. Put your address in there, bitch, and I can guarantee you somebody deliver you a piece of partner. You nigga, put your address in the motherfucking comment section, homie. If you want a motherfucker me get a piece of delivery, you hungry? You want some anchovies on that motherfucker, boy? What type of drink do you want?
And greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world. We have to watch how their life, who have to watch their life story is dressed in costumes for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, and who believe the idiotic claims you have leveled against me, that if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. Look, I'm all for coming out hard and being aggressive in a response, but this ain't it, man. There's so much deflection in this. There's so much attacking in this rather than trying to get to the fact of the matter of I wasn't even there and whatever. Plus, you have to add the fact that Jay-Z still hasn't condemned Diddy, his best friend Diddy. Who's going to time out too, Jet Li. Listen. I'm not going to kick y'all off the platform because I need y'all to show up to let everybody know y'all motherfuckers stalk my platform to learn something. Now y'all mad because we're going against date rape. Listen to me. Quit blaming Whitey for every fucking thing in life. The problem black people having is the blackface Ku Klux Klan. Whitey.
Quit blaming the white man for every fucking thing. That's a scam and a hustle the Boule done put on us. We're not going for that bullshit here, nigga. And you say it's the white man out the field, but it's my own kind doing all the killing here. Quote Machiavelli, you bitch.
Done horrible things on video that we've already seen. And now, whether all these allegations are real or not, it's where a lot of us are left to assume they are. Dude, Jay-Z, good luck, man. What? This isn't the way, man. This isn't the way. Now, look, it'll be interesting to see what happens if he really does file a suit back to clear his name. This is going to go to court. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out, and we're going to bring in a legal team tomorrow to break down what this actually means for Jay-Z. If he's really serious now that he's made such a public attack back at Busby, this is going to become a massive battle of Busby versus Carter, or versus Spiro, who's his lawyer in this, Alex Spiro, who, let's be clear, is a fantastic lawyer, guys. He's the one who got Alec Baldwin off in that masterful thing that if you haven't seen it, you should watch our coverage of the finale. It was insane how good that guy is. So this is fascinating to see.
Revolutionary salute to our Queen Kiana Perkins for the donation to the war chest. Revolution is a way of life. Absolutely appreciate the love, Queen. Salute to you.
See a celebrity this
the end of the Boule.
Tells me, look, the truth is, I always say it. If you were innocent, scream it from the hilltops. Talk to anybody, get it out there, scream it. Hello, I'm innocent. So there's a little bit of that where I'm like, all right, he's coming strong. He's like, I'm not doing this. I got nothing to hide. Come at me, bro. So there's a part of this that I'm like, interesting. He's going there. Because again, if he's proven to have anything incorrect in this, it's going to destroy his credibility, just like Diddy did when he denied that he did anything to Cassie. So Jay-Z's got to be super
careful. First of all, you got Jay-Z, who has a history of liking young women. Well, we all know that. That's true. Jay-Z has a history of that. We're going to go down the laundry list of them. I got a video here going to detail that. So Hov, he don't want no grown woman, you know what I'm saying? He don't want no woman that's older than him. He don't want that. He wants somebody young and impressionable who idolize him. Okay, cool. Diddy. Let's get to Diddy. Diddy wanted young women as a big. He don't really like women. He didn't want no woman who was his age. These dudes don't like real women, but they don't like no real women. They want children who they can manipulate and abuse and use and pass around. You see what I'm saying? Oh man, we tired of this type of shit in them. Salute. We tired of this. We sick of this type of shit, bro. These niggas, you know how many people, daughters and nieces and nephews, they done abuse going to get a record deal? Yeah, you know. You know it. Because these niggas, before they was doing it in the music business, they was doing it in our communities. You see a lot of y'all as dope boys, y'all like, man, cool, dope. Yes, it's disgusting, bro. The Jay-Z's in the hoods, the P. Diddy's in the hood. Oh, we gonna come for you niggas too. Once we get rid of these Boule, we ain't forgot about you niggas. You lit Diddy, you lit jiggers.
Careful here, or he's desperate. And that's the other thing that this reads to me. I don't know about you guys. This reeks of a little bit of a desperation, bringing his wife into it and his kids and all this stuff, like how laughable it is.
Y'all don't understand how many females, man, that had to swallow up some shit that done happened after the club, you know, or after a date, or after they went to smoke at some guy's house. They just swallow in the harm, the shame that they feel. You know? These clowns, they'll sit there and spike the punch to make sure they get some coochie tonight. Disgusting. A female white want to go over there, she might want to mess with you. These niggas want her to fuck the whole house. Come on, man. This is a big boy channel here. We're going to tell the truth. You pushing her. Then you giving her a little something extra to make sure she sleep with these disgusting punks who can't get their own woman. But the nigga with the most money, I'm going to make sure everybody get a little something. Come on, man. We tired of that shit, nigga.
Are we all supposed to assume that this is impossible to happen? What? I'm sorry, Jay-Z. I don't know you that well. I don't trust you. I don't know you. I know you were a powerful dude who tried to shut Pierce Morgan down, but nobody else, not Jaguar Wright. Why aren't you suing Jaguar Wright, Jay-Z? If what she's saying is laughable, that's where all this is coming from. Why aren't you have the money? What is I don't get it. What is he actually doing to show this? Or is this all deflection? Is this all a shell game that he's trying to do to distract you from the fact that something might be up? This is a big deal. Now, he does make a good point in that if this really happened and it's clear that it happened, why wouldn't there be a criminal case? But that begs another question. Will there be? Could there be one coming up? Could this all be part of the FBI's game to sort of level out how this plays out with these celebrities, how they react, who else comes forward? They trying to rally more evidence. They've made it clear more's coming. And then you have to add the whole Diddy of it as well, because Diddy's now behind bars. Is Diddy going to try to throw away Jay-Z and throw him to the feds to try to get a little less sentencing? There are so many things that could happen now that make this scary for Jay-Z and Beyonce, no doubt. Make me very curious as to what's going on. These are not, small claims. And he's coming out strong, but he's had a very strong relationship with Diddy. We've had many people come on this channel and say that they're more connected than he'll ever admit. Now, I can't.
Bill Clinton came out strong too and said, I did not have sex with that lady. Bill Clinton came out strong and looked right in that camera. I did not have sexual relations with that lady. I was lying to the whole world.
Confirm that, nor am I trying to confirm that. I don't know. But I know he's definitely not going after the people who are really spreading it. It doesn't matter if they have money or not. You should be shutting them up to prove it's BS. Prove it, Jaguar, prove it. All these people who have gone out there bravely calling this man out. And a lot of people have been calling him out. So I don't know what to believe, dude. All I know is you two were extremely close. And I do not trust this man. So I'm sorry, Jay-Z. I'm sorry, Hova. I don't trust you either. So this whole this is laughable. My poor kids, blah, 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 blah. It's not working on me. I need more than that. I appreciate the aggression of I'm innocent. Leave me alone. Then you should have named it immediately. I would have had more respect if Jay-Z had come out immediately after Tony's Busby and just admitted this is nonsense. I'm not involved. But the reason Jay-Z hasn't been able to do this is because he hasn't condemned Diddy. He has not condemned Diddy. And that, to me, was his first error. And this should mark all celebrities who are paying attention. You took too long to condemn Diddy. You should have been out there day one. And all of them didn't. It just has so many recollections of Harvey W. and all the people who
condemn Diddy because they own the fucking tapes. They was partying with them. I can condemn a nigga you was there doing the same shit.
Knew were complicit in what he did to those poor women. Man, this is only going to get more and more spicy and more intense. And yes, we'll get some legal experts on tomorrow to break down what this means, as well as more details as they pour in tomorrow and throughout the week. But this, along with the lawsuit itself, we'll go through it again. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe here for Popcorn Planet. We got you covered on all Diddy Gate updates. So hit the bell for alerts. And when you get those alerts, smash that thumbs up and leave a comment down below.
Yeah, this is massive. But these people, nobody compared to people like Jeffrey Epstein. Come on, man. These people live fish compared to those people. These people did it to their own. They definitely gonna do it to them. Come on, Jeffrey Epstein had presidents tied up, hooked up to these niggas small potatoes.
The Jay-Z news has hit the Wall Street Journal. This is not good for stock, but someone warned us all along, and we have her here to respond. Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signor, and I am here with the one and only Jaguar Wright. Jaguar, you told us all.
Never forget, Jay-Z sued the liquor company too. He thought they forgot. Just like Puffy sued and played games. Y'all racist. Y'all not giving a black man a chance. Oh, yeah, they're going to give you a chance to get locked up.
So, how are you feeling today?
Like Harvey Weinstein.
Like Bill Murray in that movie Groundhog's Day.
Oh, yep. You're just repeating. This is not surprising to you.
At all.
It's wild. I asked you this earlier. You're not enjoying this because this is a tough day because look, and I have to say I don't know the truth. But Jaguar has been warning us about Jay-Z. Yeah. Jay-Z has now had an official lawsuit. It's everywhere. It's now being talked about louder than ever. I guess, does that give you some peace to know that people are finally really questioning this man?
It's emboldening me. I spoke on Piers Morgan. I said that I had 3 victims that I've been working with, victims of the Carters, that were ready to come forward. this might help them feel a little more confident now. So this is great because he's been evading. But the thing is, everyone in the backdrop knew that he was the celebrity John Doe.
That's a fact.
Everybody knew that. They knew it when I did Pierce Morgan.
Is Beyonce celebrity B?
Bigger than Puff.
I hope to God not. But she was around.
Mm.
And she's very... she's got enough on her plate. After everything that happened with the election and everything that's happening right now, I'm not going to dump on that woman. She got better fish to fry.
Well,
what I will say is that her husband, she knows exactly who he is.
Yeah.
She knows. She knows.
I want to give you props though, because on your channel, which I want to plug, you Jaguar Wright Effect, you guys can support it. You posted last night, your first response was reposting the unedited Pierce Morgan interview, which I found very ballsy and very telling. And again, this is where it all came from, where Pierce Morgan was scared by Alex Spiro, Jay-Z's attorney, proving they are watching and they're being litigious. I got to watch my back, Jaguar. I appreciate you
That's fine.
Getting that. And I don't want to lose my platform. I can't afford
God,
Alex
no.
Spiro.
I wouldn't want that for anyone. I don't want anyone to lose their platform.
He's good. He's good too. Right
yeah,
or wrong.
He's real good.
What I wanted to take this video for is we're going to have Jaguar live tomorrow around 4 p.m. Eastern. She's coming back for a long form conversation. We're going to hear plenty. If you got questions, come ask them. Jonas, tomorrow, hit the subscribe. Jaguar, I want to do a victory lap for you here. I want to say, because people say you're being crazy, but the reality is I think you were onto something before a lot of us, specifically about Jay-Z. And there are some clips I want to watch with you, particularly one of Rihanna that really freaked me out. This clip, guys, if you haven't seen it, which I hadn't seen it until this morning when I saw this headline.
Come on, man. What that man was doing in that room with that 16-year-old Rihanna? Why they wanted to meet Rihanna in a hotel room late at night? She was 16 years old. Come on, man. What the hell is going on here?
Kim found it for me. Let's watch this clip quickly.
Crazy.
Let's
that you
watch
haven't
Tyra
seen
like pushing to get this out of Rihanna. And when it does, man, it made me feel very, very uncomfortable.
Audition. Yes. But before I met him, I was so nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
You had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Pun to Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
Yeah. So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh, yes. He said, we don't sign songs here. We sign artists. And there was this little pause. And I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door or something.
Oh, then he said, he said it one more.
I did a lot of work on you, this lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal signed or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
I was meeting that baby at 16 years old on the 29th floor in a hotel room late at night. That don't even make sense. Why are you meeting a 16-year-old girl in a hotel room late at night? And how many 16-year-old, 17-year-old, 50-year-olds didn't get signed, but they got abused?
The audience is so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know if Tyra was trying to get that on the record, but my God, what Jaguar? He threatened her. This is her own words coming out of her mouth. And she was a kid at that time, correct?
15-year-old girl.
15. That's not when he told her sign the deal or you going out, sign the deal or you going out the window. That's a joke. Why are you in the room with that 15-year-old girl late at night? Y'all on the 29th floor. Come on, man. That right there is a red fucking flag, bro. You could have met that girl early in the morning at the proper time. On the first floor. Why you want the girl to come way up? Man, this is all foreplay. He trying to bait in. See who vulnerable. You see, trying to see how vulnerable you are and what you really willing to do to get in this industry. Come on, man. That's bullshit, man.
Who had been flown to the United States without parental supervision or a chaperone, brought to a grown man's office in a large corporate Manhattan building. Everybody knew when she flew in. I was there the day she got signed. Everyone was talking about it. And the 6 hours that she spent with him and the 4 hours that she spent alone with him with no parental supervision. Her father didn't show up to the next day to come and collect the check.
Well, and there's
this is her life.
The rumors were even beyond that, right? That Jay-Z was cheating on Beyonce with her when she was 17 is what a lot of this came out through a publicist who later then
had
to
spoken
apologize.
To my friend Jonathan? Hey, you should talk to Jonathan.
Please.
Because Jonathan was there. He was right there working with Rihanna. And it was right when they started crafting her to be seen as a brand and commodity only and not a...
Yeah, they say the boss like to sample the talent, man. The boss, Jay-Z, he like to sample. He want to touch the goods, you know?
Person. And when I talk to Jonathan now, just to hear him, when he thinks of his teenage daughters, he was like, Rihanna was the same age my girls are now. I couldn't imagine putting my daughters through what we put her through. And then the next thing you know, she was removed from that first team from Pound the Replay and replaced with all new handlers and kept sheltered in Los Angeles, where she was going out to parties and partying at 15, 16, 17 years old, hanging out at the Rainbow Room, hanging out. Yeah, like it was one of my friends who found out she was 17 when everyone thought she was 21. And he was like, yo, why do y'all got me carrying this girl around and she's it's cool, it's cool.
Well, but just to echo and support you, like they had to debunk that. Oh, we apologize. It wasn't real. We made it up in hopes of giving her single a boost.
Yeah, they promised Jonathan a deal working at Tidal and something, and then they reneged. And then the next thing you know, he was caught in a home invasion robbery while he was working on the Drake secret baby mama story. Jeez. Sophie. He was duct taped him and his daughter, and he was pow whipped in front of his child. So, you know, there's a lot that goes on in the backdrop. And I know the PTSD. I know what it's like to be in a trunk, you know.
Speaking of PTSD, you made a comment about this. Like, this was from the Super Bowl appearance more recently. This bothered you, seeing her put the Rockefellers logo out there.
If you what was your instinct to that? And watch, it was almost as if she didn't want to put her hands up, and then she looked over where Jay-Z's box was, and then you just see her hands. She look at her. She's looking at his box. She didn't want to do it. She didn't even want to do that gig. But the hold, especially the financial hold with the companies and all of the money and all of the strings that he pulled to. He treats these women like shell corporations.
Is that why this happened? Do you have any insight on this infamous elevator video where Solange was seen just unloading on him? Beyonce's there as well.
What I will say is right there, that's the moment when he told her to back up and called her Tito.
I believe Solange is his baby mama. I don't believe Beyonce had Blue Ivy. And I know a fact that she wasn't pregnant because I seen the video. She was busted with a fake pregnancy pouch on and it went flat. I don't even know if that video is still on. They might have deleted it, but it was a video you can find on YouTube where she was acting pregnant and she sat down and the whole belly went flat, man. That's fake. And some people saying Solange carried that baby. And Solange is in the elevator fighting with her baby dad.
Jackson.
And respect and love to Tito Jackson, who we just lost recently.
I know. Tito could never get a break. And he's the nicest guy.
But here, yeah, Jay-Z trying to mimic, she's not worthy, she's nobody, is what he's trying to do.
Pretty much is what he pretty much said to her. But the thing is there was infidelity that was happening that night. Both of them got caught doing things they weren't supposed to do. I believe there might have been some DV that happened. And people who know Mr. Carter knows he doesn't have a problem with putting his hands on his wife. Plenty of people know that to be true. Solange is different.
Allegedly,
Solange is different. She's old school Southern, and she loves her big sister, even when her big sister makes mistakes. She stood up for her sister. The most interesting thing about that, though, can we look at that one more time, Andy? They come in and all of this, and then look, it almost looks like he's going to defend himself, but instead he prostrates himself, right? He lets Solange go nuts, and then he sits there and acts He knows that camera's there. He knows where all the cameras are in that place. There's another footage, and I'll get it and I'll send it to you, of him with another woman approaching him aggressively, or it seemed like aggressively, and he slapped the crap out of her. Matter of fact, there's at least 5 different shows over the course of the past 15 years where he has physically attacked women that came into his space that he didn't want anywhere near him. So I find it funny that in all those other instances, he had no problem with putting his hands on a woman to so-called defend himself. But when he's getting killed alive with cameras there, all of a sudden now he's meek and mild. I think that was a setup. I think he did that specifically to handle up on Solange.
Well, there's so much I want to talk to you about, but while I still have you, we're talking on this topic, let's talk about the ages, because he was after Beyonce when she was before 18, correct? I mean, as we go through the timeline, they claim, oh no, I met him at 18 and then we waited till I was 19, but they knew each other when she was like 15, 16, correct? You clearly had eyes, and it's not the only one, right? There's Aaliyah as well. I was looking at these photos. There's a history
but Aaliyah,
of this, right?
Definitely. A lot of people don't realize the timeline, but after everything went bad with Robert Kelly and he had to divorce Aaliyah, Jay-Z was interested while she was still underage. And as she started spending more time in New York, he was very, very, very right there. She didn't want that. She didn't want that with him. And if there's one thing I can tell you about Sean Carter, being embarrassed and being rejected are things he does not handle well. You know, a lot of people say, oh, you're crazy. He didn't do anything to Big L. He didn't do anything to Lamont Coleman. But I think people tend to forget, if Dame had successfully signed Lamont to Rockefeller, we wouldn't even know about Reasonable Doubt. It would have stayed a cult classic.
That's a fact.
Probably sold 750,000. If Lamont Coleman had signed to Rockefeller, he would have been the star. He's always removed anything that can make him look as average as he is. I don't know how many times they used to tell the story, oh, he has a photographic memory. He remembers all of his lyrics, yet he's always had a teleprompter in the Florida shows. That's why he would always sit down and look down at make it look like he was looking at his shoes. No, he was reading the lyrics. He is a magician. Everything you see about him is an illusion. But what he loves the most is controlling youth.
Well, that was something Nas said way back, saying, yeah, he was indulging with these back with R. Kelly.
And I wish I hadn't signed paperwork. And I wish I hadn't taken money. I wish.
Well, there's a lot of that you can't say.
Everybody else that didn't. I've spent my time collecting these people. And they will have their day, and we will all get justice.
But what's crazy to me is like I don't see how anyone can come after you and call you crazy when we're going through it. And this is Aaliyah, Rihanna, Beyonce. There's a history of these.
Inga Marchand, also known as Foxy Brown, one of his first female artists, who was the little cousin of DJ Clark Kent, who just passed away from some cancer we didn't even know he had.
Now, she's denying it, but many say it's because she signed an NDA. Is that why?
Well, she did sign an NDA, and he's still paying her and her mother's bills right now. If anyone should be ashamed, it should be Inga. All of those diseases that she contracted from all of that unprotected sex with him. And I'm not saying alleged. You say allegedly. I'm not, because I know it to be true. She had sex with my cousin right after that. She burned him. She set the numbers for the CDC in Philly on a new high at 15, 16, 17 years old. She was running all around Philadelphia because Jay-Z promised her that they could be, normal when she wasn't with Corrupt. Corrupt was a fake boyfriend, which is why when they tried to use her to say that she was actually in the car and there with Keepy D and all of that, I'm like, that girl wasn't even there. These women are pawns Ingram Marshawn at 14 years old, 14 and a half, going on 15 years old, singing highly explicit and sexually charged, lyrics all written by Sean Carter. What kind of 27-year-old grown man turns a 14, 15-year-old girl virtually into a prostitute and gave her the nickname the Il Nana? No kidding.
Come on.
You should have sent her to her shows with penicillin.
You talking about Il Nana?
Been halfway decent. All the men that she messed over. Oh my goodness. And every time he would ignore her, she would start acting crazy with Corrupt. Real crazy. And that day that she stuck that knife in his gut at his mother's house, God rest her soul. That girl is insane. He drove her nuts. And she's deaf from syphilis.
Well, there's clearly a lot more we need to talk about with Jaguar, which we're going to do tomorrow during our live, including your full-on reaction to this statement. I want to give you one last final thought here as we wrap it up. This very aggressive statement. Many saying, no way Jay-Z even wrote it. Very defensive, very deflective. Last thought from Jaguar. What is your response to this response from Jay-Z?
What I find interesting about that statement is what's not in it. There is no absolute denial. I hear ridiculous, preposterous, but I don't hear, I did not do that. More importantly, he's still having a hard time saying his friend's name. Diddy. You're not being accused of this independently. You're being accused of doing this with Diddy. Say something.
Remember, Jay-Z is part of the duet style whipped. They do what they want to do. And they're not supposed to deny sin. They, by admitting the sin, it's not really a sin, and they get more power. That's a fact. So I don't know if he don't want to say he didn't do it because he want to keep the inherent power that he feel psychologically that he has gained, but that is a fact. They get off by not saying they didn't do disgusting ass shit because they want the power from doing it. And if you admit that you done it, then it's allegedly to them, it's not a sin.
I know that my friend is in trouble for all of these things. And it's unfortunate as that is, it's not me. Say something, but you're still trying to pretend like you don't know him. And that's a problem. Because this isn't just your case. This is you and Diddy, and you still not mentioned him at all. But worse than that, he wants to talk about people being ambulance chasers and being, I don't know. My father was a Marine. My father, simplify. Hoorah. My money's on Tony Busby. And what I will say to everyone is, rather than getting into who's right and who's wrong, just listen to the facts. Just listen to the facts and let the details go. But the one thing that man did not do was still acknowledge the fact that Diddy is his best friend, and he was there during his reign of terror for all of it. A willing participant.
Yeah, it's pretty telling he never condemned Diddy once, and now he's coming forward hard just to save his own butt.
That would have been the time to do it. That statement would have been the time to condemn it. I haven't said anything before now, but this has gone too far. My friend is going through some very unfortunate things. I do not condone what he's done, but I didn't do it. None of that is there.
100%
With all of
agree.
the intelligent people that helped write that statement, nobody thought it was important to say, hey, we condemn what Diddy has done. This is terrible, but hey, it ain't me.
Well said. And I got a lot more to ask her, so make sure you join us tomorrow live.
The wrong way. Diddy end his whole goddamn career, but I'm hearing the NFL is trying to cut ties with the shoe shiner because they don't need him shining their shoes no more if he got all this press on him. You know what I'm saying? And I'm hearing that Beyonce mama, she came out and she enjoying this. See, she hate that nigga too. She want Beyonce to divorce the nigga and take all his money. like Bill Gates' wife did to him when he was in those Epstein. He got exposed fucking around with Epstein.
Incy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Don't you run away.
Nah, you gotta.
What's up, guys? Boy Benny. I guess we would have all been smarter to have listened to Katt Williams, who in a podcast about 18 months ago told us exactly what would be happening right now today. Katt Williams says that Diddy and anybody ever associated with him would be going down, and that their lies would be exposed and their darkness would be brought into the light.
Big deviance is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
The truth is the light. On this podcast, Katt Williams would go on to mention that Jay-Z was going to have a very, very tough year along with Beyonce. And now, well, we know what he was talking about. Jay-Z, who is, of course, a colleague, business partner, and close associate of Diddy, who's facing the rest of his life in prison, who's currently in prison for a laundry list of crimes and may get superseding charges. Still, now Jay-Z has been brought into the melee. Apparently, he and Diddy molested and raped a 13-year-old in the year 2000. The alleged victim sued Jay-Z, and that lawsuit was made public last night. Of course, that broke the internet and made headlines internationally. Jay-Z has responded with this image posted by Rock Nation. This is the company that he owns, that he founded by Jay-Z. It says right there, my lawyer has received a blackmail attempt calling a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he calculated was the nature of the allegations. The public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir. It had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud that you are in a very public fashion. So no, you will not get one red penny. Okay, so they're going to go to trial here. There's going to be discovery here. This is all heating up very quickly. These allegations are heinous. So I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against minors should be locked away. Don't you agree? Well, have you spoken out against Diddy? Right? What about Jeffrey Epstein? What about Bill Clinton? You know, I find it interesting about this, crimes against minors. Like, this guy campaigned for Hillary Clinton and was on the trail for Hillary Clinton, and multiple events. Jay-Z and Beyonce showed up to try and put Bill Clinton back in the White House. So yeah, I'm not going to buy that. Anyway, moving along, this lawyer who I've done research on, pattern of theatrics. He goes on to say that this was going to hurt his family, that the lawyer doesn't have any honor or dignity. His heart goes out to true victims. You made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the projects of Brooklyn. You're not really a young man, right? Jay-Z's like 60 now. Whatever. We don't play these types of games. We have a strict code of honor. We protect children. That's a little strange to say you protect children, given the fact that you went to a bunch of Diddy parties and we know what you saw. And also that you sold crack. You were a crack dealer. So we have a strict code of honor, but you're a crack dealer, dude. So, okay. Anyway, that's what Jay-Z had to say. The lawyer has now responded. And the lawyer issues a defiant response after Jay-Z accusations that of a 13-year-old girl rape.
That's the Haven story he's selling to the world.
Texas attorney filed several anonymous complaints against hip-hop mogul Diddy, has declared that he won't be intimidated by the strong remarks from Jay-Z. He posted on his Instagram on Sunday night a photo of him in a army uniform, in a Marine uniform. Correction, thank you, Marine uniform, with the caption, "Recognize this guy?" For Very interesting. He's going back. He was weapons platoon commander, Alpha Company, 1st Battalion, 4th Marines, from our old Western Pacific Cruise book. Despite a coordinated and aggressive effort that has included harassing my kids, contacting my clients and former clients and encouraging them to sue me, contacting my colleagues and former employees, if I've abused them, so on and so forth. He's making, so filing frivolous cases against me and my law firm, defaming me, outrageous assertion, having serious people follow me and my family. I'm still that guy. I won't be bullied or intimidated. People will see through this effort to discredit me and my clients. The truth will be revealed. I also won't allow anybody to scare my clients into silence, Busby says. This is the attorney right here. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. I'm quite certain the sun is coming. Well, there you go. Here's the post. So it's a pretty tough response there. Busby had filed more than 100 lawsuits accusing Combs of sexual assault. Many of the suits did not survive because the plaintiffs declined to have their identities unveiled. The judge has ruled in one case alleging that Combs and Jay-Z raped a 13-year-old girl at an after-party following MTV Music Awards, may move forward, saying the victim showed sufficient cause to continue the suit in anonymity. It had been filed in New York's Southern District past October against Combs and refiling on Sunday, naming Jay-Z, 55, okay, so it was 60s, 55, whose real name is Sean Carter. The suit alleges that the then teenager took a drink at the VMA's after party that had a, some type of drug in it. She felt woozy and lightheaded and needed to lie down. She claimed she laid down in what appeared to be an empty bedroom. Combs and Jay-Z and a female celebrity, referred to as Celebrity B, entered the room. Combs then aggressively approached the plaintiff with a crazed look in his eye, grabbed her, and said, "Are you ready to party?" The legal documents read. Yeah, and then effectively they just raped her. So that's what the lawsuit says. Okay, so those are the allegations. These are photos of J-Lo and Diddy during this time period, and Diddy and Jay-Z. So Jay-Z is doing, everything that he can to try and protect his own image. This is bad stuff, though, man. Here's the actual lawsuit itself. The legal documents filed against Jay-Z indicate that he has a past and is referred to as Celebrity A, and that this isn't the only person that will come out against him. Very interesting. So we'll see, ladies and gentlemen. P. Diddy, of course, is being held at the Brooklyn Metropolitan Detention Center, has denied the allegations against him. Combs in September was charged with sex trafficking, racketeering, and additional offenses from federal officials and has been denied bail. Beyonce's mother, on the other hand, Tina Knowles, this is Beyonce's mom, just recently appeared with Kamala Harris on the campaign trail, is liking posts saying that Jay-Z is going to go to prison. So here's Beyonce's mom right there, Miss Tina Knowles, saying Diddy named in lawsuit rape. Why would she like that? I don't know. I do not freaking know. This is crazy. Here we go. Knowles' social media mood was spotted by eagle-eyed followers. So Tina Knowles liking the post, one person wrote.
Because Tina
most likely doesn't like Jay-Z because what he did to her daughter. Knowles, 70, has not commented in public about the bombshell accusations against Jay-Z, who is the father of her 3 grandchildren. Jay-Z has denied the attack. But I guess we'll have to let it play out in court. So very interesting. The Daily Mail going on here to report that Beyonce has a very strange relationship with Jay-Z. The rapper was 28 when he vowed "she will be mine" when he met his future wife at 16. So he met Beyonce when she was a child, right? She was 19 here. So yikes, right? Okay. Jay-Z claimed that only heartbreak for his family. But at the time of the alleged incident, Jay-Z was 30, early stages of wooing Beyonce, who just turned 19, and is pictured in deep conversation at a Armani art exhibit. Okay. According to Beyonce, the pair met when she was 18 and were friends before they started dating. But contrasting comments from young forever hitmaker suggest that he met his future wife when she was 16 and vowed that she would be mine. He was 28 at the time. So, all right. Very nice. Indeed, he appears in a backstage photo taken on the set of Destiny Child's video when Beyonce was 16. Before they became a couple, he had been linked to the late R&B singers Aaliyah when she was 20 years old, fell out with her former business partner. Goodness gracious. With R. Kelly, who had married the singer when she was just 15 years old. What is wrong with these people? You know, what is wrong with this industry? These people are like sick. These people are sick. Singer MIA says Jay-Z made outrageous demands after signing her and fallout from rape accusation. The singer claimed that Jay-Z had told her to get plastic surgery after signing her. The 49-year-old British rapper and singer got candid about the outrageous demands that Jay-Z made. This was a couple of years ago. And she said, even when I met Jay-Z, I signed with Rock Nation. The first thing he told me is to get plastic surgery. I'm not insecure because I would have gotten plastic surgery. It's a little strange. A very strange thing to say. These people are they're just monsters, man. They're just freaking monsters. She continued. So their argument was she's insecure. Why does she need her effing massage her ego? Fails because you turn around and ask, what women do you know who hasn't had plastic surgery around? All of them have. I'm the only one who didn't, which already proves the fact that I'm not insecure. Okay, well, no one's. I don't. They're just monsters. The entertainment industry is just filled with monsters. These people are monsters. Okay? They're not to be idealized. They are not people that you should have on a campaign trail. They're bad people. 50 Cent saying that Jay-Z should lose his NFL Super Bowl deal amid rappers' rape allegation. Well. 50 Cent takes brutal swipe at Jay-Z after suggesting that the rapper should no longer produce the Super Bowl halftime show amid claims that he raped a minor. All right. What does 50 Cent have to say? 50 Cent's been one of the guys who's been out hard against Diddy. Okay, I don't know what's going on, but are we gonna still have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a friend. He's talking about Jay-Z producing for the Super Bowl. In a fiery statement, Jay-Z furiously denied the allegations, and then Tony Busby responded. We've read you those statements in part. So there you go. I guess we'll find out. Look at this. The faces of evil. I gotta tell you, man. It's always in the eyes. Look at that. Look.
What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and things are about to move extremely fast. So you're going to want to like, subscribe. Last night, we talked about Jay-Z and Diddy's lawsuit involving a minor. The allegation, well, check out the video from last night if you haven't seen it. I went over the entire lawsuit, and I also went over Jay-Z's lawsuit against Busby. But today, I promised you guys that I would go in and read the entire 235-page Busby lawsuit in addition to going over all of the cases so far that Busby has filed to cross-reference to see if any of them involved a minor boy. Let's tell you guys why I'm doing that, though. So in this 235-page Busby complaint, Jay-Z basically tells on himself. If you look at it closely, it says, through a series of media statements and lawsuits describing the acts of unnamed individual defendants, Busby made his threats to his celebrity targets clear. Pay exorbitant sums of money to remain anonymous or be publicly named and shamed. Offered up to the FBI for criminal investigation and accused of vile acts and statements to the media. After making the consequences of the noncompliance with his shakedown clear, defendants closed in their targets, sending demand letters to high-profile individuals, including plaintiff John Doe, which we now know to be Jay-Z, accusing them of participating in Combs' crimes. Now, also, what was funny is Jay-Z definitely has distanced himself from Diddy. He basically said, I don't know that ninja. I just see him occasionally at a party. We talked about it all last night. But back to this. In November 2024, defendants made demands written by correspondents, extortion demands, to plaintiff claiming false allegations of vile conduct by plaintiff, who extortion demands characterized as having been friends with Mr. Combs based on the fact that the two often attended similar events frequented by celebrities. The extortion demands alleged that Jay-Z R-worded multiple minors, both male and female, who have been drugged at parties hosted by Combs. In the extortion demands, defendants further threatened to find an untold number of other victims to bring claims similar against Jay-Z, that because the specious allegations in the demand had been made for it, there would certainly be more. So let's get into this. Demand letters were sent stating that there were multiple male and female minors who had been drugged at parties. So I knew that, we reviewed the one with the 13-year-old girl after the VMAs. The only other one that I found is this one, and it's about a 10-year-old boy who was trying to become an actor and a rapper. If you go through it, Diddy violated this little boy, allegedly. But there is nothing that indicates a celebrity A. So this complaint cannot be the one involving Jay-Z, which means that there is pending litigation that we should see more than likely in the next few weeks involving Jay-Z and underage boys and girls. Let that sink in. Jay-Z basically told us what was to come in this Busby lawsuit, thinking that he would not be named because there was no way Busby could legally name him, except for the fact that Busby is Jane Doe, or I don't know which Jane Doe she is, but Busby's client is suing Jay-Z. So he was able to name Jay-Z that way. He would not have been able to name Jay-Z directly. This is absolutely crazy. We are now in a space where multiple underage boys and girls have alleged that they were taken advantage of by Jay-Z. And I say alleged because they have not been disclosed yet. Jay-Z let us know in the lawsuit. I know that there's going to be a lot of people who may feel like Diddy is guilty, but maybe not Jay-Z. I would just say keep an open mind. Look at each case individually and the merits of the case before just blanketly making a statement. Do I believe that Jay-Z and Diddy are capable? Absolutely. I never expected this. To be honest with you guys, when there was a John Doe suing Busby for extortion.
Part of a cult, do as thou wont, do as thou wilt. They do what they want. They take what they want. They believe he believes God MC. He believes he's a deity. Nobody can tell him what to do. And the more vulgar shit you do, as long as you admit it in his religion, is not a sin. So when you're thinking about some of this stuff as being perverse and sickening, not to people like Jay-Z, it's sick to you. To them, it's not sick if they admit it, because then it cleanses them of the sin. Look it up.
I really thought that John Doe was Kevin Hart. I would never have thought it was Jay-Z taking this kind of stand, but he took the stand anonymously. He had no idea that this media storm was about to come when they decided to unmask him in the Busby lawsuit of the 13-year-old girl who was taken advantage of after the 2000 VMAs. But considering what I've been seeing in the media, I like to come and give you guys kind of like an advance notice of what you're going to be seeing. This is very plain. Jay-Z is considering himself a family man. And any of the news outlets who report like this, have some type of connection to Jay-Z. Jay-Z shares heartbreak for his and Beyonce's kids after denying R-word allegation. Let me see. Sean Carter, 55 years old, is being sued by a 13-year-old girl for the R-word. He vehemently denied the allegation in a statement, which also included an acknowledgement of how he and his wife, Beyonce, would have to handle the situation with their children, including 12-year-old daughter Blue Ivy and twins Rumi and Sir. So he, who Jay-Z is now is not who Jay-Z was in the 90s. We're talking someone who at 12 years old pow-powed their brother who was on crack for trying to steal their money. In the 90s, he stabbed and he was a drug dealer. So Jay-Z, who we see now, is not who Jay-Z was, but he is definitely using the family image to sway public opinion. We know that he's good at swaying public opinion because he has marketed himself for over 30 years. In addition to that, we know that his attorneys were doing opposition research on Busby already, calling everybody, following people, family members, and everything else. So he is going to play up this family persona. So let's get into that real quick. Where is it? Blah, 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 blah. Okay. My only heartbreak is for my family, Jay-Z shared in a statement with E! News. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. Did you explain to her why you were putting drugs in the community when you were younger? Selling drugs to people's moms and dads? You glorified it in your music. And I'll admit, Jay-Z was not my favorite, but after Big died, I think I moved more to like DMX. But Jay-Z, I definitely had a good chunk of his albums. So, I mean, maybe I'm part of the problem too for listening to it, but that's neither here nor there. It is interesting that you are playing up the family man thing so early. Not saying he's not a family man, not saying that maybe he hasn't changed his ways, but we're going to see because there are more pending lawsuits involving minors that he has told us about. So let's move on to him suing Busby anonymously. But today, this literally just dropped. He was successful in getting the Jane Doe, who was 13 allegedly, unmasked. This is moving quick. I want to show you guys.
He trying to bully her.
Here we go. Now this is from the judge. She goes into detail in this order. I wanted to specifically talk about the public opinion. Okay, public interest factors. The eighth factor weighs whether the public's interest in the litigation is furthered by revelation of the plaintiff's identity. Plaintiff identifies the public interest in protecting assault victims so that others will not be deterred from reporting crime. The court agrees that this is certainly of public interest. However, this has been repeatedly rejected by courts in the district as an adequate basis for, by itself, to warrant anonymity. Furthermore, the public's interest in protecting sexual assault victims is not the only interest implicated here. There is also a public interest in the accused being able to publicly confront an accuser, a right that would be undermined by plaintiff's anonymity. The public also has a legitimate interest in knowing the underlying facts of a litigation, including the identities of litigants. So I wanted to move down so you guys can see it for yourself. For the foregoing reason, the court denies plaintiff's motion to proceed anonymously, but stays the effect of this order until after the court decides the pending motion for judgment on the pleadings. Basically, Jane Doe has to come forward. Now, I told you guys that there's going to be more pending lawsuits. I can guarantee you now that Busby is talking to whatever underage male and female victims that he sent Jay-Z demand letters for, letting them know you might have to be unmasked. So I'm not sure if he'll wait until this motion for judgment of proceedings happens before he actually starts filing the other lawsuits, or he has to see if his clients are comfortable proceeding with their names out there for the world. Either way it goes, Jay-Z then told us that there's more underage victims, specifically more underage boys and girls. As always, you can follow this channel. I do the work. I cross-reference. I call attorneys. I talk to victims. I talk to survivors. If you are new to the channel, if you're not new to the channel, you know all these things. But I want to say thank you again. We hit 200,000 subscribers this past weekend, and I think already at 200,000.
Find out more information about his new accuser, who was only 13 at the time of the alleged assault. Now, it's clear him and Diddy been super busy. Now it's being reported that Alex Spiro, Jay-Z's attorney, filed documents Monday morning asking the judge to make the plaintiff reveal herself. In the obtained documents, Alex Spiro says fair is fair. It is not consistent with justice, fairness, or the rules governing federal proceedings for the plaintiff and her counsel to smear Jay-Z's good name. Now, furthermore, the documents state Jay-Z's built an impeccable reputation and has never been accused of or engaged in any sexual misconduct. It was reported that Jane Doe, accuser, first sued Diddy in October, alleging he and another unnamed celeb had raped her at a VMA afterparty back in 2000 when she was just 13 years old. Then on Sunday, she refiled the suit and alleged Jay-Z was the unnamed celebrity. Now, in the new documents, Jay-Z says he refused to give in to the extortionate demands of Tony Busby and filed a lawsuit against him. Now, here's the crazy thing. Jay-Z filed a countersuit back in November, but he did it anonymously, only referring to himself as a high-profile individual who attended Diddy's freak parties. Now, Jay-Z is now admitting he's the one who filed that lawsuit, and he thinks Busby and the accuser only outed him, adding him as a named defendant when he stood his ground, saying, "Make no mistake, this case is about retaliating against a rare target who would not pay." In documents, Jay-Z says if the judge won't force the accuser to reveal her identity, he wants the judge to dismiss the entire case. Now, with her revealing her identity, that can make her a huge target. We all know Jay-Z can easily get the victim touched, and most of all, unlike Diddy, he's not locked up and he can move around freely. Now, even Foxy Brown came out with, of course, her small statements. You know, she doesn't really say a whole lot, but she did actually drop an emoji when the news of Jay-Z actually being sued for assault of a 13-year-old. Now, you guys know that Foxy Brown is no stranger to Jay-Z's nasty ways. Now, y'all remember that he actually dated her when she was only 15 years old and allegedly gave her an STD. Now, there is a strong claim by Foxy Brown, even though Foxy Brown's mental health issues have been well reported, her shocking admission is that Jay-Z forced her to become a drug dealer at the age of 15, by taking her virginity and giving her an STI. Now, hip-hop culture was rocked by Foxy Brown's explosive claim that Jay-Z gave her gonorrhea and that he never expressed regret. The Roc Nation boss was accused by the Al B rapper of stealing her virginity when she was only 15 years old, which would make him a pedo. Currently, Foxy is 45 years old and Jay-Z is 54, but she claimed that I was 15 when Jay-Z took my virginity. He was 27, but Foxy's miscalculated his age. Jay-Z was actually 24 at the time. However, it still remains statutory. So do you think Foxy is telling the truth? Or how do you think Beyonce feels about this situation? Now, this case is definitely going to ruin Jay-Z. And not only is it going to ruin Jay-Z, it's going to ruin Beyonce as well. Now, y'all seen what happened with Nicki Minaj and her dude? The same exact thing is going to go for Jay-Z. Now, Tony Busby did speak out, man. He actually clapped right back at Jay-Z and was saying that Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but has also tried to bully and harass me. And this plaintiff, his conduct has had the opposite effect. Now, he made a post saying, regarding the Jay-Z case and his efforts to silence my clients, Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He filed his frivolous case under a pseudonym. What he fails to say in his recent statement is my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim, and that victim never demanded a penny from him. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation. Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has only sued me, but he has tried to bully and harass me and his plaintiff. His conduct has had an opposite effect. She is emboldened. I'm very proud of her resolve. As far as the allegations in the complaint file, we will let the filing speak for itself and will litigate the facts in court, not in the media. Now let's have a word from Dr. Leslie Dobson, a guest that we had on our podcast, who is a forensic psychologist who studies the criminal mind.
Mr. Carter was just sued by Tony Busby in civil litigation. Tony Busby is the one representing all of those Sean Combs cases, but now he's representing a woman who said that in 2000, at the age of 13, she was essayed by Sean Combs and also Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter quickly came out with a statement saying that he did not do this and he is not playing, and he tried to discredit Tony Busby. Now, this is a lawsuit I really, really want to follow. We are seeing a battle of pride. We are seeing a battle of men trying to hold down their territory and not change how they look to the world. Now, is Tony Busby going to be the one that comes out on the winning side, or is Mr. Carter? And how much more is going to start flooding in? Because this was a major crack today.
So we're going to wake up at some point in 2025 and just be shocked looking at our phone at all these major celebrities that are going to be taken down.
Yeah, I mean, I would say much more than celebrities. I would say politicians, judges, lawyers, but maybe not all at once, right? So the government's going to pin people against each other. They're going to leverage relationships, and we may never know some of the real bad actors because they have so much power to take down so many others. But we will know more. It's going to be a titillating experience for the world, and also utterly horrifying because of just how much such a dangerous person and these people in power can get away with for so long, and the individuals that they torment and hurt.
And I definitely think Jay-Z is preparing to flee. Not only is him and Beyonce going through their marital turmoil, but also, man, he's not going to take the fall like Diddy. He's already saying he wants criminal charges. But one thing about those criminal charges, if they have any lack of evidence, it's definitely going to be hard to bring criminal charges against Jay-Z. That's why he's saying, hey, I'd rather the criminal charges versus the civil charges, because he don't want to pay any damn thing. And he don't want to take any type of accountability for being nasty just like Diddy. So guys, give me your opinion on this Jay-Z thing, man. Do y'all feel like he is going to be able to escape the wrath of karma. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this man.
Danger! Jay-Z in trouble. If these allegations is true, he about to lose everything, man. His businesses, his endorsements, his investments, his freedom, and his wife. Diddy is in there right now, snitching, trying to get out of jail free card. Right now. So allegedly, back in the 99 and the 2000s, Jay-Z and Diddy jumped a then 13-year-old girl at an MTV Awards after party. The anonymous accuser that is listed as Jane Doe has filed a lawsuit on Sunday, December 8th in Jay-Z hometown, New York City. Jay-Z immediately responded. He ain't wait no time. Immediately responded and said the accuser is lying on him. And if she was rightfully assaulted, then she should have filed a criminal charge on him and not a civil money grab. And see, right after that, Jay-Z went and hired him an attorney, a real high-powered attorney. Alex Spiro, whatever he is, he's spiraling down them charges on her ass, the most powerful attorney in his defense out there in New York City. But this still is not a good look for Jay-Z. The allegation, whether true or false, will cost Jay-Z billions of dollars. His stock's about to plummet. His wife, Queen B, Beyonce, she about to go running. The NFL commissioner about to go Colin Kaepernick and call Jay-Z and tell him his ass fired. And y'all prepare to hear about 30 new lawsuits and mysterious allegations between now and the goddamn new year. Between 9 and 31st of December, it's over for Jay Hova. You know Solange on the phone right now with Queen B Beyonce trying to save her big sister because Jay-Z was about 30 years old when he started dating 17-year-old Beyonce. And he definitely laid up with a 15-year-old Foxy Brown at Lil' Kim house back in the days. Wink, wink. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Jay-Z and Beyonce jet was allegedly on Epstein Island multiple times as he and Beyonce been on that goddamn list. That's public records. But my questions about this 13-year-old victim story is, how the hell you get into an MTV Awards after party at the age of 13? Where the hell were your parents at and why they ain't being named? Some of these parents got to start being scrutinized. Y'all done got R. Kelly out the way with these survivors. But what about them goddamn parents was on the show? Nobody talk about them because it's part of a stage play. See, nobody don't talk like that. And see, why you wait till you 37 years old, almost 40 years old, got gray hair on your cooler cat down there to tell on Jay-Z and Diddy and what they did to you back in the 99 and the 2000. Something don't seem right. I know Jay-Z made a statement about how he being targeted and it's all a lie and all that, right? But Diddy did that same shit and then boom, that goddamn cassette tape drop on his ass. Yeah, y'all remember that now? And Jay-Z responded to this faster than he responded to that other shit that Jaguar Wright been talking about. It's like y'all need to goddamn call Jaguar Wright and give her an apology because she's seeming like she knows something. It's like he was waiting his whole life for his name to be called as some kind of allegation and already knew it was coming, had the lawyer ready and a statement already typed up the night before. Now, I think Mary J. Blige is next on the goddamn list. Don't you count Drake out. Drake talking about suing UMG and all these big labels. You know they got a cake bake for his ass with somebody baby mama name in it. Boy, they got all kind of videos on Drake head. And Mary J. Blige was all at the goddamn video party. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna shed no tear. No, I'm not gonna cry. Cause you're not worth my back to the goddamn video. Diddy in the pen, working his goddamn pen right now, trying to get the hell up out of there, snitching on everybody. He putting cases on all y'all layers, baby. But y'all comment below. All this is allegedly. I ain't saying what Jay-Z did, but I'm telling you, some got to be. Y'all see what's going on? They trying to take them. Y'all need to skip past 2024. This December 31st ain't coming fast enough. We need to get 2025 because they trying to take down all the powerful people out of nowhere. 22 Katt Williams 19. This scary, scary. Y'all comment below. Y'all make sure y'all tag somebody in the video. Y'all make sure y'all share this video, baby. Wait a minute.
Quite the updates for you in the Sean Combs story. Jay-Z has just been named in a lawsuit as the previously unidentified celebrity who allegedly raped a 13-year-old girl. Also, the ex-wife of an NHL player has been revealed as another Combs accuser, and the back and forth between prosecutors and Combs lawyers continues. We're going to break it all down for you right now. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. I'll be the first to tell you, it can be hard to keep track of all of the updates that are happening in the Sean Diddy Combs legal saga. There are a lot of moving parts. It's happening really fast, especially recently. So what we figured we would do is compile a list of some of the major developments that are happening in this story. And remember, this all comes as Sean Combs sits in the Metropolitan Detention Center out in Brooklyn, New York, after being denied bail a third time, as he awaits trial next year on sex trafficking, racketeering, and prostitution charges. The man accused of engaging in a scheme going on for years where he allegedly abused, threatened, and coerced women to fulfill his sexual desires and operated a criminal enterprise engaged in all sorts of illicit activity. Prosecutors say that includes sex trafficking, kidnapping, arson, forced labor, obstruction. Now, our first update is massive. This is huge because you remember when there was all this talk about who else could be implicated in these allegations? Who else will be named when it comes to Sean Combs' alleged misdeeds? Well, it turns out one big name has just come to the surface. Jay-Z, Sean Carter. That's right. The rapper and entrepreneur has just been identified as that unnamed celebrity in a lawsuit that we covered right here on Sidebar a few weeks ago. Actually, he has just been named as a defendant now in that lawsuit. You might recall there was this lawsuit that was filed against Sean Combs back in October, where an unnamed Jane Doe alleges that back on September 7th, 2000, when she was just 13 years old, she was taken to a Video Music Awards, VMA's after party, which was 20 minutes away from the event in New York. And at this party, she claims that she took a drink, she started feeling woozy, lightheaded. She makes the claim that she may have been drugged, and then she tries to find a place to lie down in what she thought was an empty bedroom. She said that is when Sean Combs, along with a male and female celebrity, entered the room. And Combs allegedly grabbed her and said, "You are ready to party." Well, now, celebrity A, who was that unnamed celebrity, has been identified as Sean Carter. This is a part of a newly filed amended complaint. And it reads, Combs then threw plaintiff toward a wall, causing plaintiff to fall. Plaintiff got up and stumbled, at which point Combs grabbed her again and threw her on the bed. At that point, Carter began removing plaintiff's clothes as she grew more and more disoriented. The complaint says, and I won't get into graphic detail, but Jay-Z raped this teen. And then it goes on to say that Diddy allegedly raped her too, that they took turns. And she claims that she actually fought back, hit Combs in the neck, was able to grab her clothes and run out of the room. Incredibly disturbing allegations. And she is suing both men under the New York Motivated Gender Violence Protection Act, which is a law that has been used by other accusers against Sean Combs. And it allows for someone to sue against their attacker who commits some sort of violent act upon them. It doesn't have to be sexual per se, but it has to be motivated by their gender. And it allows somebody to sue until February 2025. So even older
that's how they hit Trump with that bullshit lawsuit in New York, and it went through.
Claims, say something from 2000, can be brought forth now. Actually,
there we go.
Here's what it says in the complaint. The requirement that the crime of violence be committed because of gender or on the basis of gender and due at least in part to an animus based on the victim's gender is satisfied because defendants Combs and Carter forced minor plaintiff to engage in a sexual interaction without consent. Jane Doe could not effectively consent because of her age. The non-consensual sexual touching of a minor herein presented a serious risk of physical injury and in fact caused such injury. Gender animus inheres when consent is absent. Hey, before we go any further, I want to quickly thank our sponsor, Upside, for helping us produce this Sean Combs episode. Now, Upside is great if you don't know what it is. It is a free app that helps you get cash. And I will also tell you that in this lawsuit, it seems to state or allege that Carter, Jay-Z, is not only allegedly a player in this incident, but that he could be included in other situations. Because at the very beginning of the complaint, it reads, Combs has been allowed for years to conduct himself in this manner without any consequences. He believes he is above the law. He is not. His close friend Sean Carter has been with Combs during many such instances described herein. Both perpetrators must face justice. And the lawsuit also doubles down on how close Combs and Carter are. Because at one point it reads, the two are apparently so close that Combs stated in 2023 that Carter is the only person other than Combs' mother who is allowed to call him by his legal first name of Sean. Now, this whole lawsuit is significant for several reasons. First of all, this lawsuit was filed by Tony Buzbee. This is that Texas attorney who claims to represent over 100 alleged victims of Sean Combs. And he indicated in the past that he would name names. And there was reporting, particularly by TMZ, that high-profile people had reached out to him to settle claims so that they wouldn't be listed in lawsuits. They wouldn't be named in lawsuits. Well, with that in mind, take a listen to what Jay-Z had to say, because he released a statement after the filing of this lawsuit. And it reads in part, quote, my lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Buzbee. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I've done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these types of theatrics. He goes on to say, my only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. He continues, my heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You have made a terrible error in judgment thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your moral world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We have very strict codes and honor. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. Now, clearly, my opinion, this was a pre-planned response. He had to have known that this lawsuit was coming because, again, if you take these allegations as true, if you're taking what he's saying as true, and by the way, Buzbee did indicate that Carter received a letter from him requesting a mediation. He knew negotiations broke down, if there were any kind of negotiations, and that this lawsuit would be filed. So it appears that this response was definitely planned in advance, and he's going to fight it. He's going to fight it. Now, something interesting to note, when Sean Carter says that Tony Buzbee is an ambulance chaser, that he threw out this...
I absolutely believe Puffy People is behind leaking this story and hooking Jay-Z ass up to this motherfucking bumper. He played Jay-Z the whole motherfucking time. By putting him in this incident, nigga, to have his ass for later on. Come on, man.
This demand letter that he was trying to essentially extort him.
Buzbee
himself has been sued. He has been sued by an unnamed high-profile public figure, someone apparently connected or friends with Sean Combs, who alleged that Buzbee, quote, shamelessly tried to extort him by threatening to file a lawsuit against him unless he pays up. Claims that Buzbee threatened him with a lawsuit that was filled with entirely fabricated and malicious allegations of sexual assault. So again, something to think about as we hear about these Tony Busby lawsuits and we think about Jay-Z's response. So Jay-Z is not backing down, at least from this statement. Having said that, while he is completely innocent, you do have to wonder now whether this lawsuit has been filed, whether other lawsuits will come down the pike. That's what happened with Sean Combs. But to be clear about something, while this is...
Who did back down? Who? Did Harvey Weinstein back down? He said, hell no, I'm innocent. All these is lies. People coming after my money. Did R. Kelly back down? Hell no, these are lies. They want my money. Did Bill Cosby back down? Hell no, these is lies. They just want my money. Did Puffy back down? No, those are lies. They just want my money. All those people locked up who I just named.
Essentially an alleged crime, what's being discussed. This is a lawsuit. This is a civil case. The burden of proof is much lower, much tougher to bring criminal charges, especially when you're dealing with a claim that's 24 years old. But also, I should tell you, given the time frame, this could be beyond the statute of limitations to bring a state criminal charge. And I'm not sure, based on this fact pattern alone, whether a federal crime would trigger. But again, whatever it is, these are allegations. Either way, these are allegations. By the way, in response to Jay-Z, Tony Busby just posted something on X, formerly Twitter, that is very interesting, and it makes you wonder if whether or not Jay-Z is that unnamed plaintiff, because he writes, regarding the Jay-Z case and his efforts to silence my clients, Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He filed his frivolous case under a pseudonym. What he fails to say in his recent statement is my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim, and that victim never demanded a penny from him. Instead, she only sought a confidential mediation. Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but he has tried to bully and harass me and this plaintiff. His conduct has had the opposite impact. She is emboldened. I'm very proud of her resolve. As far as the allegations in the complaint filed, we will let the filing speak for itself and will litigate the facts in court, not the media. Now, we are going to monitor what happens with this Jay-Z situation. But as I said, that is not the only update we have to discuss, especially in terms of identities being revealed. Why? Because we have learned the identity of one of the Jane Does who sued Sean Combs. This was back in December 2023. This is one of the initial lawsuits. I think it was the 5th lawsuit that Sean Combs had faced. And this was after Cassandra Ventura had first filed her sexual assault lawsuit against Sean Combs the month before, in November of 2023. This set the whole ball rolling on all of the many lawsuits that he now faces from dozens of alleged victims. And of course, which also seemingly led to the criminal charges that he now faces. But that accuser has been identified now as Anna Kane. Anna Kane is the ex-wife of NHL star Evander Kane from the Edmonton Oilers. And she just filed an amended complaint where she is now named as the plaintiff. And let's remember what she's accusing Sean Combs of. In her lawsuit, originally filed on December 6, 2023, she claims that 20 years earlier, back in 2003, when she was only 17 years old, in the 11th grade, she claims she was sex trafficked and gang raped by Sean Combs, Harvey Pierre, this is the president of Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings, and an unidentified third assailant. And more specifically, she alleges that she met Pierre and this third person at a lounge in Detroit, Michigan. Pierre, she says, smoked crack cocaine and then forced her to perform oral sex on him. Later on, she alleges that he convinced her to accompany him by private jet to New Jersey, where they all go to Sean Combs' recording studio. And from there, she claims she was plied with drugs and alcohol, was incredibly inebriated, and as I mentioned, was gang raped by all 3 men. And this included while she allegedly said, stop. And by the way, in the complaint, there were even photos that were embedded. And it was of this woman with a blurred out face. Now it seems to be that was Kane. And she's in this recording studio. In fact, in one photo, she is with Sean Combs sitting on his lap. Now, why was she revealed? The simple answer, the judge overseeing this case forced her to reveal her identity. U.S. District Court Judge Jessica G.L. Clark ruled that Kane couldn't proceed with this case anonymously anymore. And while understanding that revealing her identity could, quote, have significant impact on her, particularly given the graphic and disturbing allegations in this case, Clark also wrote in her order, the court cannot rely on generalized, uncorroborated claims that disclosure would harm plaintiff to justify her anonymity. Without more specific support, plaintiff fails to overcome the prejudice to defendants and public interest factors implicated here. Now, we've seen this reasoning. In fact, we saw this in another Sean Combs case where another accuser was ordered to reveal herself. The general idea is that while there are certain circumstances by which an accuser or a victim of sexual assault could remain anonymous, could file a lawsuit and continue a lawsuit under a pseudonym, you need to explain what particular harm would happen if your identity was revealed. Otherwise, it's not fair. Combs has a right to confront his accuser, to research that person, especially since the accuser has chosen to file the lawsuit. That person has put their own credibility into issue. Combs has a right to challenge that. And it's different than a criminal case where victims or alleged victims are prosecution witnesses and they don't necessarily want to testify per se or choose to testify per se. This was her case. She sued him. In other words, then if that wasn't the case, any sexual assault accuser could sue someone anonymously. And is that necessarily fair? Now, what is significant about this is that Combs apparently put the pressure on Kane to reveal herself. And of course, that could have resulted in Kane dropping the suit, right? If the accuser doesn't want to tell the world who they are, this is very, very sensitive details, they may just drop the lawsuit if they can't remain anonymous. But she seems to be moving forward nonetheless. In fact, her attorney, Doug Wigdor, shared a statement from her to TMZ saying, "I had hoped to use a pseudonym in pursuing justice for what happened to me as a teenager. Defendants demand that I use my name was an attempt to intimidate me, but I am not intimidated. I am prepared to proceed and hold accountable those who have harmed me." And by the way, talking about Kane having to reveal herself, you have to wonder if in the other lawsuits where there are other Jane Does, including the one now against Jay-Z, if that plaintiff is forced to reveal her identity, will she continue that lawsuit against Jay-Z and Sean Combs? We'll see. By the way, I should tell you, when it comes to these sexual assault allegations, Combs has adamantly denied having any involvement or partaking in anything like this. In fact, when it came to Kane's suit, back when it was filed in December, Combs had already been hit, by the way, with multiple lawsuits at the time. He released the following statement. "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth." And Pierre also released a statement adamantly denying the accusation, saying, "This is a tale of fiction. I have never participated in, witnessed, nor heard of anything like this ever. These disgusting allegations are false and a desperate attempt for financial gain. I will vigorously protect my reputation and defend my name. Those who know me recognize that these claims are not true." By the way, before we move on, one more update with respect to Ms. Kane's lawsuit. The claims against the corporate defendants in this lawsuit, like Bad Boy Entertainment Holdings and Daddy's House Recordings, they were dismissed. Now, I'm not going to bog you down with the legal reasoning behind it, just to say that a change in the law that was being used to hold the companies liable for what Combs allegedly did couldn't be retroactively applied. So that's a loss for Kane, because in lawsuits, the corporate defendants, they're the ones that have the deep pockets, right? They have the significant money, although we're talking about Sean Combs here. But otherwise, her lawsuit proceeds, and there will be a hearing on January 9th, 2025. So we'll see what happens next. But now moving on to some more updates. More back and forth between prosecutors in Combs' criminal case and his lawyers, something we have to talk about. And one issue involves a suppression hearing, meaning a hearing where Combs' defense counsel will try to have evidence not allowed into his criminal trial. Now, in a December 4th filing with the court, the defense brings up once again that issue that we had talked about before on Sidebar, where these writings, these papers from Sean Combs' detention unit at the MDC were photographed by a Bureau of Prisons investigator during a sweep for contraband at the facility. Combs' lawyers had argued that potentially attorney-client and work product privilege materials were photographed and they were shared with the prosecution, and that this is a big no-no. And they also alleged that the government was improperly monitoring Sean Combs' jail calls with families and his attorneys. And also, by the way, you remember that Judge Arun Subramanian denied Combs bail for allegedly violating the BOP rules by engaging in three-way phone calls and using other inmates' phone access codes. Prosecutors had alleged that he did this to try to improperly reach out to witnesses and taint a future jury pool, but Subramanian denied Sean Combs' bail. But anyway, Sean Combs' lawyers write in this December 4th filing, they write, the government exploited Mr. Combs' detention by engaging in unfair and unconstitutional tactics that have interfered with his ability to work with his attorneys and make it impossible for his attorneys to provide effective assistance of counsel. They write, this disturbing conduct is a blatant violation of Mr. Combs' rights. Prosecutors say the search was motivated by security concerns at MDC, but that is a false pretext. The purported purpose of the BOP sweep was to search for contraband, but since when is prison contraband photographed and left in place? If it were contraband, it would have been seized. That is not what Investigator 1 did here, leading to the inescapable conclusion that this was an intentional, targeted, and illegal search to discover any information that could give the prosecutors a leg up against Mr. Combs, including his handwritten privilege notes, a roadmap to his defense. So they're basically saying, this sweep didn't have anything to do with just, a pre-planned look at all contraband. This was specifically targeted at Sean Combs. That's what the argument seems to be. And they continue, the prosecutors knowingly, intentionally, and secretly took possession of the notes and then used them against Mr. Combs. They took the notes without following the agreed upon filter team procedure that is supposed to ensure that the case team is not tainted by access to privileged information. By the way, a filter team is this independent examiners who look through material and take out anything that might be privileged. Anyway, they continue. They then appended clearly privileged portions of the notes to their bail opposition to support continued detention. This was when prosecutors said that these writings in his cell showed Combs was improperly reaching out to a witness in the case. They used this as evidence to oppose his bail. And the defense writes, it is impossible to know what else the government has done with these notes. Indeed, the prosecution has refused to disclaim using the notes to further its investigation going forward. They go on, this entire sequence of events, even based on the facts known to date, is shocking and outrageous government conduct. The government has intentionally violated Mr. Combs' attorney-client privilege and Sixth Amendment right to counsel by invading the defense camp and unjustifiably interfere with relationship with counsel and ability to defend. Mr. Combs cannot possibly receive a fair trial if he is not permitted to confer privately and confidentially with his counsel and others working at the direction and to take and keep notes of his trial preparation. The search also violated the Fourth Amendment and Mr. Combs' Fifth Amendment due process rights. So now they're asking the court to step in. And they write, we request discovery and a hearing to determine the extent of the violations, to establish procedures to minimize prejudice going forward, and to ensure that Mr. Combs receives a fair trial. The court should also order other necessary relief, including but not limited to suppression of the notes and any fruits of the illegal search, meaning it can't be used at trial, directing that a special master conduct privilege review in lieu of the filter team going forward, disqualification of any and all prosecutors tainted by access to the privileged materials. Wow, that's a big one, just telling the prosecution team they can't be part of the case, and ordering the government to stop monitoring Mr. Combs' communications with the defense team, and depending on the evidence adduced at the hearing, dismissal of the indictment, meaning their conduct was so bad, this indictment should be thrown out. This whole criminal case should be thrown out. Now, I should tell you that Judge Subramanian has already heard some of these arguments in a prior hearing, and actually, he instructed the prosecutors to destroy the copies of Sean Combs' notes they had in their possession. I will say, though, it wasn't like it was all pro-defense. He wasn't too happy with the defense either, because he said that they weren't entirely accurate with him about what was and wasn't labeled legal in Sean Combs' unit. Now, that is not the only recent back and forth between prosecutors and the defense. Another update revolves around Combs' use of a laptop. You see, given the sheer amount of evidence and material in this case for Sean Combs to review, and by the way, he has a constitutional right to prepare for his defense, prosecutors arranged for a laptop to be provided to him at the MDC. However, there were certain parameters that prosecutors put forward in terms of where he could view the materials and when he could view them. For instance, they said he couldn't view the materials in his own unit while in the presence of other inmates because they say there is sealed information on that laptop, and that includes the names of alleged victims and witnesses. This is a security and privacy risk. So the prosecutors offered that he'll only be provided with the laptop in the unit's video teleconference room during select times when legal staff is available and when that room is not otherwise being used during other inmates' legal calls, or he'll only be provided with the laptop in the legal visiting room between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3:30 p.m., but not both. He can't have both options. Now, Sean Combs' lawyers objected to this. They said that he is being selectively treated unfairly from other inmates, that given these limited amounts of times, he's going to have to choose between either reviewing the laptop and visiting with his attorneys. They say this situation is untenable and that there's not this security risk that prosecutors claim, because there's no reason to believe Sean Combs would share these sensitive materials with other inmates. And also there was this whole back and forth about whether Combs could use the laptop to take notes too. Defense says he has a right to take legal notes on the laptop. Prosecutors say no, that goes beyond what's allowed with the laptop. And the defense also argued that the MDC needs to stop sending attorney visitation forms to prosecutors, meaning letting them know when his lawyers are visiting him. And they say that violates attorney-client privilege. Prosecutors countered. They said, no, it doesn't. The fact that he met with his attorneys, that's not privileged information. And by the way, we have a right to know, considering Sean Combs is the one who really made it an issue of how often he meets with his lawyers while at the MDC. A little bit of a back and forth there between prosecutors and defense counsel. But I have one more update I got to talk to you about regarding the MDC. You see, according to reporting from Fox News, we may know what Sean Combs will be doing during Christmas, the first Christmas that he has spent behind bars. Apparently, during the holiday, he and other inmates can take part in a 3-on-3 basketball tournament, play cards, play dominoes, play soccer. Also, on the dinner menu for Christmas Day, there is reportedly a Cornish hen, macaroni and cheese, cranberry sauce, dinner rolls, a holiday dessert, just in case you wanted to know what Sean Combs may be up to behind bars. Quite the fall from grace for the once renowned music star. But look, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, he is innocent until proven guilty, okay? He has not even been found liable in any of these sexual assault lawsuits as of yet. Have to be clear about that. So we will see where this case goes, and we will see how this story proceeds. All right, everybody, that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar. Thank you so much for joining us, and as always,
Suit initially filed against Sean Diddy Combs, the two stars now accused of raping a 13-year-old girl at an after party decades ago. I have 7 shocking details from the suit and what Jay-Z, Combs, and the accuser's lawyer are all saying about it. Welcome to Crime Fix. I'm Anjanette Levy. Jay-Z, of course, is one of the biggest names in rap music, and he has been a longtime friend and associate of Sean Diddy Combs. Now he's being revealed as the name behind Celebrity A in a lawsuit filed by a Jane Doe from Alabama, who claims that Combs and now Jay-Z raped her in the year 2000. And in a bit, I'm going to tell you what both Jay-Z and Sean Combs are saying about this lawsuit, so stay tuned for that. Combs is currently in federal custody, accused of racketeering and sex trafficking, and he's pleaded not guilty to those charges. The sex trafficking charge filed against Combs relates to allegations made by his ex, Cassie Ventura, that he forced her to take part in freak-offs, days-long sex acts with male sex workers. Cassie had originally filed a civil lawsuit against Combs in November of 2023. That suit, of course, was settled in record time within a day. Before that, Combs's lawyers say that Cassie's lawyers had made an offer to them that they could buy the rights to a book she was writing for $30 million. In exchange for it never seeing the light of day. Cassie's lawsuit and the subsequent settlement seemed to open the floodgates for other women to file civil lawsuits against Combs. More than a dozen have been filed, including one by a Jane Doe in October. At the time the suit was filed, Combs was the main defendant, and 2 other celebrities were listed as Celebrity A and Celebrity B. Celebrity A was listed as a man and Celebrity B a woman. Now attorney Tony Buzbee, after some legal back and forth with a demand letter and dueling lawsuits, says Celebrity A is Jay-Z, whose legal name is Sean Carter. The suit begins. Defendant Sean Combs, a.k.a. P. Diddy, a.k.a. Puff Daddy, a.k.a. Diddy, a.k.a. P.D., a.k.a. Love, along with his longtime friend and collaborator Sean Carter, a.k.a. Jay-Z, drugged and raped a 13-year-old girl at an after-party following the 2000 Video Music Awards. Another celebrity stood by and watched as Combs and Carter took turns assaulting the minor. Many others were present at the after-party, but did nothing to stop the assault. Combs has been allowed for years to conduct himself in this manner without any consequences. The plaintiff says she was 13 at the time in January of 2000 when she said she went to the MTV Video Music Awards at Radio City Music Hall. She didn't have a ticket, so she approached limo drivers who were parked outside hoping to get in. The lawsuit says one of the limousine drivers she spoke to claimed to work for defendant Combs. The driver told her that Combs liked younger girls and said that she fit what Diddy was looking for. And while not allowing her into the awards, the driver invited her to an after party. The driver stated that he had to drive Combs and others to the after party first, but instructed plaintiff to return to his location after the event and that he pick her up after and take her to the after party. While the woman says she was outside the VMAs talking to the limo drivers, inside it was a big night, particularly for Jennifer Lopez, who was at the awards show with her then boyfriend, Sean Combs. They were a hot couple back then, and Lopez won the VMA for Best Dance Video. She was on top of the world that night. The woman claims that night, outside of Radio City Music Hall, she got into a limo with someone affiliated with Sean Combs. That suit says, after approximately 20 minutes, plaintiff arrived at a large white house with a gate U-shaped driveway. Once inside, two men asked plaintiff to sign a non-disclosure agreement, informing her that she could not discuss what happened at the after party. She gave them her name and signed the form, but did not receive a copy. The Jane Doe described seeing celebrities, but those people are not named. Inside the building, plaintiff recognized many celebrities as she entered what appeared to be a large living room or foyer containing a large crowd. Plaintiff attempted to mingle in the crowd and talk to several of the celebrities that she recognized and whom she wanted to see at the VMAs. Waitstaff circulated throughout the room, carrying trays of drinks, and loud music played throughout the venue. Plaintiff observed widespread drug use, including marijuana and cocaine. After attempting to talk to numerous celebrities, plaintiff accepted a drink from one of the waitresses, circulating the crowd. The drink was a reddish yellow mixture that tasted like orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. After drinking just a portion of that drink, plaintiff began to feel woozy and lightheaded, making her need to lie down. A photograph of an actual exemplar container used by Combs and or his agents/employees to insert GHB into alcoholic drinks is seen below. And these are the photos included in the lawsuit that show a small plastic container that the plaintiff claims contained drugs at the party. The woman, remember, who claims she was 13 at the time, says she felt woozy and went to look for a place to lay down. She claims she found a bedroom that had just a large bed in it with no other furnishings. And what she describes next is incredibly disturbing. The cases I cover each day here on Crime Fix show you just how scary the world can be. And one of the scariest things that can happen is if you ever get hurt. But I want you to know, if you're ever seriously hurt or in an accident, your case could be worth millions. That's where Morgan & Morgan comes in. The firm has an army of more than 1,000 lawyers who will fight for what you deserve, and they have the track record to prove it. In the past few months, Morgan & Morgan has won big verdicts like $12 million in Florida, $26 million in forthepeople.com/crimefix. The suit states, soon after, Combs entered the room along with defendant Carter and a female celebrity, Celebrity B. Plaintiff immediately recognized all three celebrities. Combs aggressively approached plaintiff with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her and said, "You are ready to party." Combs then threw plaintiff toward a wall, causing plaintiff to fall. Plaintiff got up and stumbled, at which point Combs grabbed her again and threw her on the bed. At that point, Carter began removing plaintiff's clothes as she grew more and more disoriented. Plaintiff was held down by Carter as he vaginally raped her, while Combs and Celebrity B watched. After Carter was finished, he stepped back toward the wall. Combs then stepped forward and vaginally raped plaintiff while Carter and Celebrity B watched. Combs then knocked plaintiff down and attempted to force plaintiff to perform oral sex on him. She fought back, standing up quickly and punching out at the same time, hitting Combs in the neck. Taken aback, Combs stopped his attempt. The allegations in this suit are very disturbing, and Sean Combs is denying the claims being made by the woman, who's now around 37 years old. Combs and his legal team said in a statement, this amended complaint and the recent extortion lawsuit against Mr. Busby exposes his barrage of lawsuits against Mr. Combs for what they are, shameless publicity stunts designed to extract payments from celebrities who fear having lies spread about them, just as lies have been spread about Mr. Combs. As his legal team has said before, Mr. Combs has full confidence in facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail that Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. And Jay-Z posted a lengthy statement on X calling the allegations heinous. My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny in all caps. These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case. This lawyer, who I have done a bit of research on, seems to have a pattern of these type of theatrics. I have no idea how you have come to be such a deplorable human, Mr. Busby, but I promise you I have seen your kind many times over. I'm more than prepared to deal with your type. Jay-Z then talks about his family and the toll this will take on them. My only heartbreak is for my family. My wife and I will have to sit our children down, one of whom is at the age where her friends will surely see the press and ask questions about the nature of these claims and explain the cruelty and greed of people. I mourn yet another loss of innocence. Children should not have to endure such at their young age. It is unfair to have to try to understand inexplicable degrees of malice meant to destroy families and human spirit. My heart and support goes out to true victims in the world who have to watch how their life story is dressed in costume for profitability by this ambulance chaser in a cheap suit. You have made a terrible error in judgment, thinking that all celebrities are the same. I'm not from your world. I'm a young man who made it out of the project of Brooklyn. We don't play these types of games. We protect children. You seem to exploit people for personal gain. Only your network of conspiracy theorists, fake physics, will believe the idiotic claims you have levied against me that, if not for the seriousness surrounding harm to kids, would be laughable. I look forward to showing you just how different I am. And lawyer Tony Busby, who filed the suit in the first place, is firing back also on X. Regarding the Jay-Z case and his efforts to silence my clients, Mr. Carter previously denied being the one who sued me and my firm. He filed his frivolous case under a pseudonym. What he fails to say in his recent statement is my firm sent his lawyer a demand letter on behalf of an alleged victim, and that victim never demanded a penny from him. Instead, she sought only a confidential mediation. Since I sent the letter on her behalf, Mr. Carter has not only sued me, but he has tried to bully and harass me and this plaintiff. His conduct has had the opposite impact. She is emboldened. I'm very proud of her resolve. As far as the allegations in the complaint filed, we will let the filing speak for itself and will litigate the facts in court, not in the media. I want to bring in Nima Rahmani. He is an entertainment attorney, and he's been following the whole Sean Combs ordeal very closely. So, Nima, your thoughts on Jay-Z being revealed as Celebrity A in this lawsuit? I know you and I discussed this a few weeks back.
And Jeanette, I'm not surprised. You and I have speculated, as to who this might be. And I think it was really telling when Alex Spiro and Quinn Emanuel filed that extortion lawsuit against Tony Busby. It's pretty well known that Spiro represents Jay-Z and Rock Nation. So it was the most likely celebrity, and now it's been revealed that the allegations are indeed against Jay-Z.
I think it's interesting, too, because Alex Spiro came out swinging about a month or two ago when something came up about Jay-Z and Beyonce on a Piers Morgan show. And he came out, sent some type of letter to Piers Morgan saying, you need to retract this, get rid of whatever was said about my clients. And he did it lickety split. And then that was kind of a big red flag that Jay-Z was on the offense or on the defense and on the offense, trying to play a little bit of both. So, but the thing is, Jay-Z is saying this isn't true. He's filed a motion to dismiss this suit. He is not taking this laying down. He is saying, this has emboldened him to not give in and pay one red cent. But this woman is claiming this was Jay-Z and Sean Combs who raped her as a 13-year-old girl. So how do we get to the truth of the matter here?
So what you would want if you are Busby and this now woman's lawyer is ideally you have some sort of corroborating evidence and a contemporaneous report. It can be challenging to bring these types of cases decades later. Now, it's really going to go in one of two ways. And we saw it with Diddy and Cassie Ventura. This is either the first of many lawsuits that are going to be filed against Jay-Z, or this is a one-off. We know that it can be Weinstein, it can be Cosby, it can be Epstein. Oftentimes, abusers abuse more than one victim. And I'm not saying any of this is true, but if it is, there may be more than one victim here. And if others do come forward, sometimes it's hard for jurors to believe one victim in a he said, she said type situation. But when victim after victim is telling the same story of physical and sexual violence, that's very hard for jurors to overcome.
We still don't know who Celebrity B is. There's been a lot of speculation about that. We don't know who it is. We know it's a woman, and she so far has not been unmasked. Tony Busby has not revealed Celebrity B's identity. What can we take away from that?
So Celebrity B, there's a lot of speculation out there. I mean, obviously we know who Diddy was dating at the time, and I think that's who a lot of people think it was. But, obviously we weren't there, and it's just innuendo and rumors right now. But that individual, from a legal perspective, the allegation is that she was a witness. She was not a participant. Witnessing a sexual abuse is certainly terrible, but I don't know necessarily if there's any legal claim against her, although I'm sure Celebrity B does not want to be unmasked and wants nothing to do with this, just like most individuals right now want to have nothing to do with the Diddy allegations. And if it's Diddy and Jay-Z, I think that same logic is going to apply.
So Jay-Z wants this to go away as quickly as possible. We saw what happened when lawsuits were filed against Sean Combs, or at least the initial one by Cassie. Are we going to see more lawsuits filed against Jay-Z in the coming days?
I think the coming days and weeks and months are really going to be telling. Having represented a lot of victims of sexual assault and abuse, there is a hesitation to be the first one, because it can be terrifying to go against a rich and powerful man with a lot of assets and unlimited resources, right? You might get dragged in the media, right? But once the first person files the lawsuit and you kind of see it, there is this strength in numbers, and that's what Me Too is all about, right? So I don't know. It's still too early to know. Is this going to be a Me Too type situation for Jay-Z and the entire music industry? Or is this just going to be one accuser? And I'm not saying that I don't believe the one accuser, but it is a very different case in the courtroom and the court of public opinion if there's many, many accusers. So I think that's going to be the big determining factor in this. And ultimately, if there are a lot of accusers, what does that mean for Jay-Z's business dealings, right? He is someone who produces the Super Bowl halftime show. What does the NFL do? What are other celebrity do? What does Beyonce think of all this? Again, I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but if it does, it's certainly a game changer here.
Jay-Z is certainly not taking this lying down, and he's fighting back as much as he can in the courts. Nima Rahmani, thank you as always. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Anjanette.
And that's it for
But first, we want to share with you some brand new developments we are learning in the Sean Diddy Combs investigations and civil lawsuits. We know this is an ongoing case against him, and now we are learning that one of the civil complaints that's been brought against Diddy has been amended. It's been amended. And so you may recall us talking about this case previously, and a case about a 13-year-old allegedly being raped by Diddy, allegedly being assaulted and raped by another male celebrity who was previously not identified. Now, that celebrity has been identified. He's been identified as fellow hip-hop mogul Jay-Z. His name has been revealed. The allegation is that he and Diddy raped a 13-year-old girl at an after party in the year 2000 after the MTV Video Music Awards. Now, Jay-Z is denying these allegations. In a statement he posted to his X account, he denies the allegations and questions why this was done civilly, why this civil lawsuit was filed demanding money, and why a criminal complaint has not been made. He writes, quote, "My lawyer received a blackmail attempt called a demand letter from a lawyer named Tony Busby. What he had calculated was the nature of these allegations and the public scrutiny would make me want to settle. No, sir, it had the opposite effect. It made me want to expose you for the fraud you are in a very public fashion. So no, I will not give you one red penny," end quote. So that was what Jay-Z said publicly on his X account. In a statement to ABC News, that attorney, Mr. Busby, said, quote, "The pleading speaks for itself. This is a very serious matter that will be litigated in court." Now, this is the same lawsuit that was filed in October, accusing Diddy and accusing another celebrity of working in conjunction with Diddy to rape a 13-year-old not identified in the complaint, just named only as Jane Doe. And they also allege in this suit that another female celebrity was there the whole time watching this happen. So basically, we've heard these allegations about Diddy, and we were wondering who these two other celebrities are. In the first suit, they were just named as Celebrity A, a male celebrity, and Celebrity B, a female. Female just said to be watching, but Celebrity B said to have been taking part in the assaultive behavior. So now that suit has been amended and Jay-Z's name has been filled in. His real name, Sean Carter. So now he's a defendant along with Diddy in this particular civil lawsuit. There's so much to discuss here. Let me bring in our law enforcement analyst this hour. She is a law enforcement expert. She's also a trial consultant. Sunny Slaughter on the program. Sunny, good morning to you. We talked about this. When that suit was first filed. We were all wondering, who are these celebrities? Who is this man who's alleged to have raped this child, as Diddy is alleged to have raped this child? And who is this female celebrity who's alleged to have watched these rapes happen? What's your reaction, please, to this allegation being brought against Sean Carter and him not wanting to settle this?
Good morning, Julie. Here we go again. Here we go with this case and the unfolding of it. So when it comes to Sean Carter being named, we've been hearing the rumblings and the ramblings that it could be him, that he could have something to do with this, and now the name is out. I have to agree with him. If this is a criminal case, criminal charges, let's see that happen. I am always, as a law enforcement expert, a litigation consultant, and someone that specializes in trafficking and sexual exploitation cases, concerned when we go to mediation regarding something that's criminal and not to the criminal litigation and for the investigation that is necessary in this case. Although it might be 24 years old, the allegations, we investigate cases that are 24 years old as law enforcement. And I think we need to see clear eyes and take down the temperature with the hype and get into the investigative material and start with Homeland Security Investigations, who has the expertise, who did the execution of the search warrant on Sean Puffy Combs stuff, and let's get into it that way as opposed to having mediation. These are criminal allegations, and we should not take them lightly, and particularly based on the age of the individual, and there could be others allegations.
Right, Sonny. And excellent points here. And let's keep taking it a step further. So you said this is a valid point, and I agree. I agree. I said it to my colleague, our senior producer on the show, Eric Goldson, when he said Jay-Z makes this point about why isn't this criminal? And I said, yeah, he's right. And I looked up the law. So the New York Child Victims Act, sometimes we hear it referred to as the CVA, a wonderful piece of legislation that opens up the window of the statute of limitations, right? Statutes of limitations, bar complaints that are outside of the window of time. And this extends them for child sexual abuse. And it does it in both civil court and in criminal court. And Sonny, you're familiar with this. So I'm doing the math here. This is alleged to have occurred in the year 2000. Okay, we're in 2024 and the statute of limitations is still open for a criminal case. According to what I'm seeing online, it's 28 years for felony offenses. Yep. So if this rape did occur, there's still 4 more years that this can be filed. And this is just the filing, and you know that, Sonny, just got to get the filing in and then the prosecution can commence. So I'm curious your thoughts on that, Sonny, as an investigator. There's been a personal choice by this now woman, then 13-year-old complainant, who has chosen to go the civil route with attorney Tony Busby to get justice instead of going to investigators that we know of. Tony Busby could have said something publicly in response to Jay-Z's comment that, well, she has reported it or something, but to our knowledge, there has been no report. What does that say to you when an alleged victim isn't choosing to go the criminal route?
So it could say multiple things. And one of those could be that maybe as a young person or as someone more mature, they did try that. And they had some type of negative encounter with law enforcement where they may not have been believed. Sometimes that does happen, and that could have made it impossible for this alleged victim to feel comforted by what law enforcement would and could do. However, with all of the spotlight now on the other case, now tying this into this case, they might feel like there's more leverage and maybe they don't want to go to court and testify in a trial. However, I think it is the wrong thing to do at any place when we think that criminal charges against someone where there's an alleged victim that was a child, a minor at the time. I do not think that lawyers should take this tactic. I know they're defending their clients, but I do think that we need an investigation into this case. There is still the parents. We need to find out, where were the parents with this child? Who else did she tell? There's so many nuances that are not explained. I just don't think that we can say, okay, it's going to be a civil complaint, ignore the criminal charges. And like you said, we still have a 4-year window where charges could be filed, but we need to get to those first before we start talking about having a mediation.
Right. Excellent point, Sonny, as always. For anybody wondering who Tony Busby is, so Texas-based lawyer, we've got a quick clip of him. Let's take a look.
The biggest secret in the entertainment industry that really wasn't a secret at all has finally been revealed to the world. The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward.
Okay, so he is the lawyer who has filed numerous claims. He is representing numerous victims. I can't even recall the number, but I know that, Sonny, you and I don't have enough fingers and toes to count all of the alleged victims that this guy is representing. And I'm saying alleged here too, because we don't know. Look, we'll see what happens in civil court. However, these cases are decided. They're merely accusations at this point against Sean Diddy Combs and now Sean Carter. Jay-Z. Yeah. So I want to dig into that story with you, Sonny. And full disclosure for everyone at home, we at Court TV just obtained a copy of this amended complaint. So I'm reading through this now. I have my computer open and I'm looking at it. So a couple questions right away when we think, how did this child even get into this party? And so, Sonny, what's alleged here is that she has someone drop her off because she wanted to go to the VMA Awards, has a friend drop her off near Radio City Music Hall in New York City. She wants to try to get into the VMAs. She said it was a bucket list thing for her. believed she could get in. Apparently, and again, this is all according to what Tony Busby set forth, but says that she started talking to limousine drivers who were parked in the area. And one of them, who she spoke to, apparently said that she fit what Diddy was looking for, that he liked younger girls. And this driver allegedly said that he had to take Diddy to the after party first, but told the plaintiff, come back to this exact location right after the VMAs, and I'm going to pick you up and take you to the after party. And so that is what is alleged to have done, that this driver takes her there. She says she enters a large white residence, a gated U-shaped driveway, and claims that she might have been asked to sign a non-disclosure agreement. She's not sure, didn't get a copy of that. Sonny, I'm sure that'll become important later on as we analyze this. She says she sees many celebrities, and there were waitresses circulating, carrying drinks on trays. She said she observed widespread drug use, including cocaine and marijuana use, took a drink that was reddish and yellow in color. She said it tasted like orange juice, cranberry juice, and something bitter. Says after that, she felt woozy, felt the need to lie down. She looked for a place to rest, saw what appeared to be an empty bedroom, lays down on the bed. Soon after, she alleges that Diddy and Jay-Z, along with a female celebrity, enter the room. She automatically recognizes all three of them, says that one of them, Combs, said, are you ready to party? Had a crazed look in his eyes. She claims that Combs threw her toward a wall, causing her to fall. Says she got up, at which point he grabbed her, threw her again on the bed. At that point, she claims that Jay-Z removed her clothing as she grew more and more disoriented. The allegation is that Jay-Z raped her first. That is the allegation, that he vaginally raped her while Combs and this female celebrity watched. That's what's being alleged. Then the allegations go on to further state that after Jay-Z finished raping her, he stepped back toward a wall, and that Sean Diddy Combs stepped in and vaginally raped her while Jay-Z and that female celebrity watched. I'm going to stop right there because I could keep going here, but that is the gist of it, that 2 rapes took place. That is what this complaint is alleging that Diddy and Jay-Z both raped her, and that this female celebrity watched it happen. Okay, Sonny, let's start from the beginning of this story. The beginning of the story starts with a limo driver. I'm thinking about this person, this adult who transported a child to a party, allegedly. Does that sound a little bit like some sex trafficking? I don't know, but boy, if I was a federal prosecutor, I'd be paying close attention to this, wouldn't you?
The allegation, you hit it on the head. So this is transportation, and sometimes people think transportation in trafficking cases means out of the state or over state lines or something. Transportation is any mode of transportation where you are moving an underage or an individual that should not be moved to another location for sexual violence or trafficking, exploitation, any type of scheme. So first we have the limo driver, and I'm still talking about where were the parents? How did she get into this? And she never did make it into the concert that she wanted to make it in because that's not in there. So she immediately goes to this location. And then she's moving about with all of these celebrities. How is it that nobody in the room recognizes this very young? 13 is very young and very young in looking and age. We're thinking 2000. Okay, how is she there? How long is she there? And all of this activity that happens there, does she engage in the alcohol and drugs? That is also another part and another point of criminal activity, serving alcohol and drugs to a minor. Another charge, allegations, once again, as we're saying this. And then how does she get to leave this location? I can't wait to look at this complaint myself and start unpacking it. But Julie, you started right where it needed to begin. These are allegations. They are very serious allegations. They are very heinous allegations, but they also need to be investigated because there are too many individuals, starting with the limo driver, starting with how she got to the location, and everyone in between that need to have the conversation, the investigation, the parents. and how she got there, how she got home, what happened, what did she say at school to her friends, counselors. Did she ever say anything to anyone else? Is there a therapist some point in time along the way? Who did she talk to? I want to know everything. I'm getting ready to get this complaint and unpack it myself too. And let's talk about it more, because this is heinous, to say the least.
Yes, Sonny, agreed. These allegations are heinous. They are disgusting. They are reprehensible. And this is only a representation by one side. I can't emphasize enough how we're just being very clear in reporting this is what's being alleged. We're not a court of law. And we know it's being denied by both Diddy and Jay-Z. Both of these men have adamantly denied these claims. Sonny, you raised so many great questions. I'm reading further in this complaint about how this plaintiff, this 13-year-old child, is said to have got home. So it goes on to say that she did fight back, was able to stand up, grab her clothes and her shoes and run out of the bedroom. So the allegation is that after she was raped by these two men, allegedly, that she was able to grab her things, get out and hold her dress in front of her like a towel, cover up her body to an extent by holding her dress like a towel. As it says, she ran around the residence until she found the front door. It says, although there were other guests still at the party, no one appeared to take notice of the plaintiff's distress or attempt to help her, and that she put her clothes on after she got outside and left in the pitch dark. She ran until she reached a gas station. A female clerk saw her in distress, allowed her to use the phone. She called her dad, admitted that she lied about her whereabouts, asked him to pick her up. Dad picked her up shortly before dawn, and that it says she fell into a deep depression, suffers from PTSD and a seizure disorder alleged to have been caused by stress and trauma. Difficulty with relationships, difficulty functioning in society is what's being alleged here. Sonny, you asked about the parents. You said, where were the parents? And so here we have Dad potentially becoming a witness here, because Dad sees her right after the fact, after this alleged trauma. What do you think about that?
The fact that there were so many people in this house, all of this went on. He has guards, there would be guards, there would be limo drivers, there would be people, and she could make it out and run to the gas station. All of that is a lot. The father is absolutely a witness. And if you saw your child in that type of state, you mean to tell me you wouldn't take your child to the hospital? You wouldn't call the police? You wouldn't get more details? Where is the mother? Where are all of the other things that don't add up enough in this particular case? What is the relationship that she had with her parents? And if she calls her dad and he just comes out and does, a father that comes out and does nothing, that doesn't seek to find the answers, that is a lot to also unpack, and investigators absolutely need to talk to this witness, need to find the potential witness at the gas station. I know it's 24 years later, but she ran down the street. There were other things before she got to the gas station. What else do we know? Who else could have seen her? This is a lot, but once again, in these type of cases, let me say this. There are always a lot of allegations. They are always heinous. They are always irreprehensible, and they always need to be investigated. We need to have these allegations, as in every case, investigated, because if the limo driver said, according to the complaint, that this is the type of person Sean Diddy Combs likes, that means she is not the only one, allegedly, which means this is why this needs to be investigated. And if there are other young individuals or even older individuals, we need to have this investigated and not just fall on the allegations themselves. They are heinous. And this is what law enforcement does. No federal prosecutor wants to have this kind of information out there without the legal lens and the hands and the necessary tools that law enforcement have at their have access to investigate the case, whether it's 24 years, 30 years. We do this all the time, and I think it is a miscarriage of justice if this is not investigated before we start talking about money.
Right, Sonny. I love everything you said. I'm in complete agreement. I have so many more questions for you. I want to dig in with you on what investigators may do with this. Surely they're aware. They were aware of the existence of this complaint, weeks ago, whenever this was filed. I remember we talked about it in great detail, and now we have another major allegation being brought. And so we're going to talk more about, again, these allegations and Jay-Z's very strong response denying them. And again, a reminder, Sean Diddy Combs has denied these allegations.
You're defending Jay-Z. Y'all, we have officially jumped the shark. And it's interesting to see everybody taking mental leaps to justify why their favorite is somehow not connected to this. Y'all, what is going on? Diddy, it didn't take long. Diddy has issued a statement defending Jay-Z and also going out his way to discredit Tony Busby. Here's the thing that everybody's walking around the room in. If Jay-Z takes Tony Busby down, Tony Busby is the man with almost all of the lawsuits against Diddy. If he can take Tony Busby down, that means that all of Diddy's worries go away and he only has a handful of those first cases. Now, I'm not saying that Jay-Z and Diddy are working together to run a play. I am saying that it seems mighty, mighty odd that Jay-Z's talking about justice. He's talking about his kid. He's talking about this. He's talking about that. But you are out here doing the same thing you did for R. Kelly, doing the same thing you did for Harvey Weinstein, doing the same thing that you are doing, you have been accused of doing with Diddy. Again, let me just say this, right? Innocent until proven guilty. However, there is a 13-year-old that is making accusations. And for people saying, oh my God, anyone can say anything. If anyone can say anything, then how come nobody does? Regardless of what money-grubbing individuals might want to do, it actually is something to accuse somebody of this. It's humiliating. It's embarrassing. The public tries to protect their faves. How between the word of a 13-year-old that a week ago we believed her, now that your favorite rapper that nobody knows that had a few bangers, well, again, innocent until proven guilty. But I just want to say, Jay-Z never denied doing those things that he did to that girl. It was very much giving, enough is enough. I did not do any of those horrible things. It was a very carefully worded legal statement. Why couldn't you just come out and say she's lying? I didn't do this. But we'll talk about that in a second, okay? Let's get into the way Diddy and Jay-Z have teamed up. Let's get into the way that Diddy is out here defending Jay-Z. Listen to this. Diddy just posted this. The amended complaint and the recent extortion lawsuit against Mr. Busby exposes his barrage of lawsuits against Diddy for what they are. Shameless publicity stunts designed to extract payments from celebrities who fear having lies spread about them, just as lies have been spread about Mr. Combs. As his legal team has said before, Mr. Combs has full confidence in the facts and the integrity of the judicial process. In court, the truth will prevail, and that Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor. Okay, the truth will prevail in court. I believe the victims until further notice. I don't care how many times somebody made a bop or something we could dance to. I do want to say this. Jay-Z's been heavily involved with Diddy for 30 years. You either believe Diddy did it or you don't. If you don't believe he did it, okay, then like, what are we really talking about? But if you actually believe that he did it, we need to actually ask questions. Why did you not say anything? Why? And also, I find it very interesting, and this is just me. Jay-Z is making ad hominem attacks. He's basically saying Tony Busby is a dirtbag because of his tactics, so he doesn't have a right to step to Jay-Z. They're trying to say this is extortion. And tell me how, for somebody rich and powerful, what was the framework for a victim? Do you go and you say, hey, powerful person, you did something to me. And the powerful person says, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Here, take this money. Do you need counseling? Or do you think they make you fight them every step of the way? What to them? So now bringing a civil case is extortion. Sharing my story about what I said happened to me is extortion. Let's not forget, they have a method. Jay-Z can easily countersue for defamation. Jay-Z can try to have this dismissed, but he can easily answer and countersue for defamation. Jay-Z can try to get Attorney Busby disbarred. There are so many ways you can go after someone who is lying, especially when you have money and unlimited legal funds. And also you have a whole highly skilled PR team behind you. What is going on in society that we are now moving to the point where celebrities, much of them who have gotten civil cases for doing weird stuff, is now saying these civil cases are extortion. And the only cases that should be allowed are criminal. But then when you get the criminal should be allowed because they're lies. Because why didn't you bring it up earlier? Because of the wonderful things he does. Again, what is going on? I really have some questions. You haven't countersued for defamation. You did a strongly worded, it wasn't even a denial. It was attacking. But since when is attacking the attorney good enough? Because if you really want to go down that route, if you really want to get into it, let's pull up Diddy's team's case history, who they represented, what they won, what they lost, and the tactics they used. Let's pull up all your lawyers, from Agnaphilia to Rico to Shapiro to Garagos. Let's pull them all up and see what's what. Oh, you mean your attorney is defending you? They tried to get Ghislaine Maxwell off and used every trick in the books they could to try to make it seem like she shouldn't be held accountable? Do we hold that against you? Let's look at Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Sparrow. Who have you defended? What tactics did you use? What have you helped your rich and powerful clients get away from? Now, I know what y'all saying. T said it don't matter. A lawyer is allowed to use everything in their arsenal to defend their client to the fullest. And that's what I'm saying. So when it comes to the victims, it's not just Busby. It's Wigdor. It's Blackburn. It's everyone that has raised their voices to speak out against the powerful. All of a sudden, these lawyers that should be crusaders, and listen, I'm not saying that they teach Sunday school. I'm not saying that Tony Busby has a Christian's heart. I don't know. They bring up the fact that he's a Trump supporter. Let the people on your team, Diddy and Jay-Z, voted. Are you insane? You're saying, like, the things that you are bringing up to discredit the person bringing the victim forward may or may not be valid. But at the end of the day, when are you going to address the core of it? Where is Jay-Z's team going to address the core of it? Why you did a whole paragraph about your daughter and innocence loss. What about the innocence for R. Kelly's people? But even if you don't even get into that, when are you just going to say, I didn't do it? But you won't publicly say that. You just want it dismissed because you have an impeccable character. And how dare anybody say anything against you? Again, you are rich. You are powerful. I'm sick of people acting like these celebrities are just like you and me. You have access to a whole media machine that you can either pay to do your bidding or, as you see, will kiss your feet just because they want to get next to power. They want to be invited to the next Rock Nation brunch. And hear me out. It's nothing wrong with that. And if this is all a shakedown, then I will be the first to apologize. But the way Jay-Z and Diddy are now moving together and in tandem leads me to believe there's something y'all don't want to get out.
But then that's just my humble opinion. Y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I will be live to talk.
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no holds barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, Black and White sports fans, we may be witnessing the end of Jay-Z, Sean Carter. Yesterday, guys, you guys probably heard about the news involving Jay-Z and one Sean Diddy Combs. Because Jay-Z now is getting sued along with Diddy, because allegedly, guys, back in 2000, he actually violated a 13-year-old girl with Diddy. This is some heinous, disgusting details, guys. I'm not going to go into it here on this channel. But guess what, guys? Jay-Z, he has a partnership with the NFL. Yes, because he and Rock Nation actually produce the Super Bowl halftime shows. Could this be the end of that partnership, folks? Now, the Super Bowl is coming up in February, guys, so we're only looking, 2 months out? But right now, guys, things are looking very, very bad for Jay-Z, man. And I mean very bad. When you're talking about kids and Diddy, that's not a good thing. And we know, folks, that Jay-Z and Diddy, pretty tight, right? So 50 Cent, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, man, is now weighing in on this. He believes that the NFL is actually ready to dump Jay-Z over these allegations. Now, folks, if these allegations are true, there's no doubt about it, guys. If the NFL feels that these allegations are true, it is over. The partnership with Jay-Z, no doubt about it, is over with. I mean, they can't be associated with someone connected to Diddy like that. I mean, folks, this is really, really bad if it's true. But check this out. 50 Cent suggests NFL could dump Jay-Z as Super Bowl halftime show producer amid Diddy rape lawsuit. Now, I find it kind of funny, guys, that Jay-Z even has a partnership with the NFL. Remember, this man was out there saying that the NFL did Colin Kaepernick dirty. And pretty much, I believe the only reason why he got this partnership with the NFL is over social justice stuff. Yeah. But let's read this, guys. Rapper 50 Cent is suggesting the National Football League could part ways with Jay-Z and find another partner to produce its Super Bowl halftime shows amid allegations that Jay-Z raped a minor in connection with the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking investigation. Where are the Diddy tapes? Because Diddy tapes, Diddy files is going to tell us a lot. Jay-Z has been a partner with the NFL for a Super Bowl halftime show since 2019, when the league took him on amid the rising social justice movement at the time. Yeah, a social justice movement all based in lies. That's why that whole movement has fallen apart. The partnership was a quick reversal for the rapper who had turned down any involvement in the lead Super Bowl show only the year before. But since that time, Jay-Z has not just taken on the role of co-producer for the annual show. He also became an integral part of the NFL's social justice work. Yikes. So the NFL got in bed with this guy who used to be a drug dealer. Yeah. Jay-Z started off dealing drugs. That's how he actually started off making his money. And the NFL got in bed with this guy. Yeah. Now with a rape allegation hanging over Jay-Z's head, rapper 50 Cent is raking his rival over the coals. In a message referring to the Super Bowl halftime show posted on his Instagram account, 50 Cent, whose real name is Curtis Jackson, wrote, quote, "Okay, I don't know what's going on, but are we still going to have the Super Bowl word emoji? I'm just asking for a friend." Good question, man. Good question right there. I believe the NFL, man, they're probably going to be looking into this and panicking, because not only is Jay-Z connected to the Super Bowl, but he's involved in their woke social justice initiatives. Yeah. And this allegation, man, is horrific. It is horrific. 50 Cent, of course, had alleged that Jay-Z tried to have him banned from the NFL's annual halftime show in 2022. Kendrick Lamar is scheduled to headline the Super Bowl halftime show in New Orleans early next year to top off the 2024 NFL season. And Jay-Z did come out and he denied it. He's in full-blown panic, folks. Really can't blame him, because it doesn't matter right now anyway if the allegations are true or not. The thing is, man, this man has been directly connected to Diddy, and that's not good. That is probably the worst thing anybody could actually have on them right now, is a direct connection to Diddy. Just like that. Ain't no party like a Diddy party, right, LeBron? Yeah. This is really, really bad, man. And of course, Jay-Z, Rock Nation put out this long thing right here. But I do believe, man, that there's a possibility, though, that the NFL could actually dump Jay-Z completely. 50 Cent could be right on this, man. He could absolutely be right on this. Once we find out all those names, man, and if his name actually follows up in a official report on the Diddy list, oh boy, things already aren't looking good for Jay-Z. This could truly be the end of him. The end of him. He's also married to Beyonce, by the way. Yeah. I don't know, guys. What do you think of this? What do you think of this? Is the NFL about to dump Jay-Z? I mean, we're talking about children right here, guys. Children. And I'm pretty sure the NFL is already scratching their heads, man, and thinking maybe they already reached out to him and say, hey, tell us about this, which I'm pretty sure he's going to deny everything. But still, this is horrific. This would definitely be a bad look for the NFL to actually leave him on. Right now, guys, if you are associated with Diddy, I mean, if you guys thought that the Epstein list was bad, this is right up there with that. Right up there with that, guys. And one day, probably one day soon, that Diddy list is coming out. And if Jay-Z's name is connected to that, it is game over for his career, man. But why in the world would the NFL get in bed with a sketchy guy like Jay-Z anyway, man? Remember, this dude sold poison to his own people. He's not a stand-up guy. Gonna leave right there, guys. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this?
Go figure. Follow me.